didn't even get that on.
It was perfectly timed to not have it be on camera. Yay! Cheers.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to the stream. We have 5 in the stream tonight. Thank you for joining us on the Hangout with Adam and Ryan.
You know what? Forget the presidential debates. Who wants to cleanse your palate of all that messiness? And come and hang out.
Watch one of these debates between these guys.
We're gonna talk fiscal policy. We're gonna be talking.
So hell are you? I think it's been a couple weeks since I saw you. We've been all over the nation doing things.
Vacations.
We are doing. By the way, we are on a different kind of. We're on the makers and do it DIY kind of thing tonight. We're trying something different. So if you're out there and you're hanging out and you haven't been on here and you haven't seen it, we do a lot of stuff. We will be doing some stuff. But anyway, as you were saying.
Just we've been away. I was on having to hang out at my house last time we did the show, but it was still a good show.
I thought it was a really good show.
And I feel like the thing there's a couple things that I'm super excited about. One, if you're not on Discord and you haven't checked out Adam's new build of the game, it is rocking. I can't wait to talk about it and hear about it, and want to do more on the show this week. I want to build things and do stuff. And I think we're going to do some marketing material type stuff for it, which will be amazing. And we'll play through it. And I'm excited.
Hell yeah. No, I'm excited. And we'll load your thing on
my particular Game Boy with the double drop down colored Nickelodeon cartridge. So you can see it.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Man, that came out pretty damn. So even in the last week, actually, it's been a week. I have spent.
It's been a week.
It's been a week. No, Kylia has been wanting me to print some things for her Sea of Thieves get together. I don't know, what is it? Conference? What do you call those? Yeah, it's a get together, I guess. I don't know.
A con, right?
A con, there it is.
Yeah.
So Festival of Legends?
It's a festival then.
Yeah. So it's a couple years in. Last year I had printed out some things for her. This year we got a little bit more dramatic on what we wanted to print. But it was 70 hours of printing.
Yeah.
And I had to time it to where I would swap out a filament, which I didn't do the last year. So it was really dramatic because I'd have to be all right, where am I going to be in exactly 10 and a half hours?
10 and a half hours.
And then so I was looking for it.
And hopefully it's not 4 a.m, right?
Yeah, and I got it timed out because I had to do a couple rounds of it because it was 15 hours per print, so that was interesting. Mm-hmm. So it was fun. I was able to get in there and get those things.
Any mess ups or anything where you came back after a certain amount of hours and a thing? I feel like you have this 3D printer dialed in.
So I do, but here's the deal: is I feel like I got to get a new one because we've put so many hours into this printer.
The only thing that I would say is don't if it ain't broke, right? Don't try to fix it.
I'm going to use it. But the thing that I'm trying to fix is that all the parts that have been on it have been going through hundreds of hours, and I know that something's going to not. So the nozzle camera did go out, and I did want to talk about that a little bit and how I've been fixing it and doing some other work. And I wanted to show you my journey through nozzle cam development, you will. It's for a long time. So that's the
journey through 3D nozzle cams.
Yeah, and I have that back there. And so we'll talk about that. So as far as the show, Ryan has been getting ready to sell his house. So
yeah, that's been my project that I've been working on, but it mostly came to an end. It's up for sale, and so we can't be doing as many projects on it. So I'll be able to work more on the fun Game Boy game, which I'm.
And he can help me actually plan the shows. So today, Adam planned the show again.
Adam planned the show.
So to give you the rundown, Ryan, what we're going to
thanks.
talk about tonight, we have a couple things. So if you're in the Discord chat, you'll know that we have a lot that's going on. So we're going to talk a little bit about 3D printing. I'll give you a little bit of insight. We went to Boston. I went on a Boston vacation. That's why I got my Harvard shirt on.
Of course.
So just want to talk about that. I wanted to talk about an interesting experience. I've been really interested at going into Linux lately, and the reason being is that got all this bad news around Windows and all this other crap, and I'm like, I've never really tried just going Linux for something. And so I brought a laptop on the trip, and I only had Linux on it because I had set it up for that. And so I just tried it out, and I wanted to give you like a little quick update on what that experience
Doing work?
was like.
You were doing work like on...
I have an old MacBook that I bought when I went in my master's program.
Okay.
And then Apple goes planned obsolescence, and so I couldn't get any OS updates, and I was like, this is a piece of garbage, but it felt like it was perfect.
Right.
Then I figured a way to get Linux on it, and so my thought was, I'm going to Boston, I don't want to like take my actual Mac because I'm not really going to go hardcore work, but if I needed one, which we did, and I'll tell you the reason why, and I was able to use it.
Nice.
A little bit about the 3D print project. We'll probably play some maybe Drawful or some sort of gaming in a little bit. We'll see who gets into the stream that we can do that. Let's talk about Xbox and Fire TVs. Some news in the chat. Oh, we got to talk about that. We got the Toys R Us Sora video.
That was interesting.
AI memes video. I wanted to talk a little bit about robots. There's some interesting developments with robots. And have you heard about the lab-grown skin?
No.
Oh my goodness, this is a good show for Ryan.
This is like I'm learning so much.
You're gonna get to see some interesting things. There was the Lego printer. You did talk about that one. That was cool.
I feel like, these all feel like quick hits, right?
Some of them are quick hits. Maybe we'll have some things. I saw an AI talk yesterday by an author named Erica 20, and we will talk a little bit about that. It actually was really interesting to go to.
Is that here in town?
It was here at CSU Pueblo, but she's a TED Talk author from Florida. She does this all across the nation, so it was like a special event to be able to talk about AI, and it was almost like a positive outlook on it. I wanted to take some quick hits on it. Yeah. It was more to like bring people in education up to speed and being like, you don't have things to fear about it, and here's why. And kind of, but what's interesting is I was like, man, that's like Adam and Ryan, the Hangout 2 years ago. But, whatever, going around the nation writing books and talking about AI, but,
just shows you need the content, right? For it.
The hilarious thing, and we'll get more into it, is that we're in there, and she's like, all right, take out your phone. Now go to chatgpt.com. And everyone's like, oh. And then somebody, like, she shows the ChatGPT, like, a singular request, and this one guy in the front's like, Jesus. And I was like,
wow.
I was like, oh my goodness,
this is where we're at.
So much.
I watched somebody who said, and they were doing a presentation, and it was like with adults with normal jobs, what I would think is sort of knowledge jobs. Yeah. And they were like, how many people have tried ChatGPT? And it was like 75% of the room, which still like 25% not using it. Who uses it? Who's used it after that and uses it, like regularly as a tool? Like maybe like 40% of people. Wow. And I was like, wow, imagine when it would be like saying, how many of you use a computer, to do things?
Well, isn't that the thing?
Like, that's what it's going to be.
So I want to talk about it. There's no way I'm going to be able to get to all the details that she got into, but that's all. I actually took some notes, so I have a notebook that I wanted to bring some hot takes.
A physical notebook?
It's a physical digital notebook. And then we'll hit up on Skull Bobs. I feel like we got to get some Skull Bobs work in tonight. That is, I have spent a copious amount of time, and part of it too.
You could tell
since the last time the platform has been there, and I guess. In my mind's eye, I can see the potential because I've probably been working in it.
Right.
And so I think from your lens of what you saw, you were just like, there's nothing here.
Right.
And I'm like, it's literally right there kind of thing.
I absolutely came to that same conclusion after playing this next build of it. And I had a little bit afterwards, after we had talked before.
Sure.
But I was like, I just think I wasn't close enough to it to see the game that was there. I needed some of the accoutrement onto the game to feel like, oh right, it feels like a game that you would play and have fun with.
Right.
But because you were developing it and you were doing it, I feel like you had already seen that and you're like, what the heck? We're already doing that kind of stuff.
And so I'm glad that you're seeing it, because I spent hours playing it before and I'm like, is this not the thing? What am I missing here? So I'm glad that you're seeing it. And I think now we can start to, I feel like that is the game. That I brought it the best I can get to it. Yeah. We just keep adding little elements. And I tried to say, how can I polish this enough so it feels like it did? So I'm glad that was the reaction. So definitely check that out.
Great.
So that's it. I think that's going to get us through a bunch of the show. I'm excited about everything that we're going to talk about tonight.
Totally.
So Cheers is right here. I'm gonna We're drinking
double cheers.
Double cheers is right. We need the icon in there. I don't know if I'm Mike's in.
Yeah, we had what are we drinking? Whiskey with bitters. And an ice cube.
Straight whiskey tonight because I ran out of all the cherries. So, babe, I don't have any of the cherries, unfortunately.
No orange scrapings.
No, unfortunately not. So, but let's just jump into it. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this on a couple of things. I'm going to start us off on talk show. And
there's Mike Azul with his.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Wait, what the hell?
Knock my head.
Oh yeah, who ate all the cherries? Yeah, we know who that was. Hold on a second. I got to put a tag in here. This is the co-hosted show. I have been Mike Azul, I hope you are feeling better. I know you have been a little bit under the weather lately, so
that sucks.
We are hoping that you're on the mend.
One thing while you're updating that I'm looking at as I look at the Discord here is Adam's fun Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out of the shell, which ended up in the AI discussion boards for some reason.
Because we went into I think it started with Mike Azul. Because he put in a rap with ChatGPT
that's right.
about dinosaurs and pizzas. And it was like, yo, step into the time
that's
machine.
Right, the pterodactyl pizza rap was
good.
And then Adam had to pull out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live musical tour that they did.
Let's see here. I actually, oh man, that's not gonna. I don't know if I can get our faces out of this. Get this. Okay, there it is, coming out of your shells.
Nice. And it's like
I had that tape in arm's reach.
That's great.
That was hilarious.
Anyway, fun videos going back and forth on that thing.
Well, yeah. So if you're in the Discord, like that was a huge concert. You showed me the concert. I watched a lot of the freaking concert online. I actually have a queued up video if we want to take a little quick hit on that. I think we should.
Well, and then did you see that they did a those what are the YouTube videos that they do where they make fun of trailers for movies? Anyway, they did one of those for it, and it was also really good. It went around for a little bit, apparently, like 5 years ago.
For some reason, we're on the right-hand side of the screen. I'm going to fix that in a second. Kind of works, though.
You're like, we're going to get a DMCA'd for these hot turtle wraps.
I'm sure. Look at these guys.
Yeah. They were like, we are not wearing the turtle feet. I cannot dance in the turtle feet. We got white Keds on. That's it.
Hell yeah. You know what's funny? There's a part. They clearly have to be lip syncing, right?
Yeah. Totally.
He's not even playing guitar. He's just like slap that guitar.
Just barely. It's like yeah. But there's some fun parts with like Shredder ragging on the audience and stuff. Like little kids making fun of them.
Oh man, we're not watching this whole thing, but if you're interested in this,
nice.
It is some fun.
Bring the turtles back.
Man, the turtles they're so good. They've been like
they've
the rock in my
like
life.
They really like stayed true in popular culture.
More real than T Swift. Oh yeah, I know. Jeez.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
getting us banned now, right now. See how this goes. Well, anyways, no, that's the fun stuff that goes in there. Like you start with the Dino Pizza rap, and you end up in a huge discussion around Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out of their shells. So I thought that was a good one. They actually had a Pizza Power song. Did you see that? Like Pizza Power was a legit song. So when you did the rap about the pizza and the T-Rex, I was like, wait a second. That's what like
Pizza Power sounds like something maybe from like the animated series or something.
I'm pretty sure it was
like,
the thing. Yeah.
Or like one of the video games, and they say like Pizza Power, like when they got powered up.
I think like most of these, well, some of them maybe not so much, but here let me just do the first verse.
Let me just rap it out, Adam.
I'm not gonna rap it out.
I'll put some beats behind it.
Yeah. Growing up in a glass bowl with chameleons, lizards. Oh wait, no, that we got to get to a line where he's talking about pizza. He's like,
come on,
a lettuce leaf and a carrot, maybe a seed from a parrot. Believe me when you tell me the word gourmet, just Donatella. exist? Well, pizza power, a flying saucer food delight. Oh my god, it was terrible.
In the making of video that I watched, they were like playing that on the roof of a New York City like building for some kind of promotion, and then the news was taping them. It was ridiculous.
Oh my god,
Turtle power like frenzy. It's great.
All right, so I did take a trip to Boston. So we're not going to talk about Boston this entire time, but I will show you a couple
Pizza
pictures.
Power board game.
Is there one? All right. Just a quick few hits, just because. Have you been to Fenway?
I have not been to Fenway. No.
So I just wanted to show you this. Like,
looks nice.
That was our seats.
Right
they were
there.
pretty good.
Totally.
I thought like
Totally.
it is such a cool small like little place. So they actually flipped out the things manually. What I don't know if you can kind of see it, and probably could in. So it's not as good, but there's screens that they have up there.
Yeah.
They try to like integrate it. It's all green, so it still feels like it's old school.
Oh, nice.
So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah,
little element about that. Took a boat. Went to
on a
Salem.
boat.
Yeah.
Don't you ever forget.
Hell yeah, it was a good time. Check this out. We got to see Paul Revere. This was the place where he actually did his little ride.
Ooh.
And this was the bell right up in this little church.
Where like lights were coming.
He's like, yeah, the British are coming.
Yeah.
So that happened in there.
One if by two.
There's the boat we took to Salem. Sorry,
Nice.
didn't get a little bit out of order there. So I did not do a bunch of things. I did not want to get crazy with this. But then here's the bar. We went and drank some Samuel Adams, and right across the street from this is Samuel Adams' grave. So their whole logo is, have a cold Samuel Adams while looking at cold Samuel Adams.
Nice.
It was like that was their thing. So it was cool. So I got
fun.
That was a fun little place to stop.
Did you get to like touch his grave?
Yeah, went to it, did all the stuff.
Cool.
This is the U.S. Constitution, this boat that went all around, and we got to tour it. It was a really cool thing. So
some kind of tea party, something.
Not on that one, but there was it was pretty sweet.
Boston is fun. I have not been to Boston in a long time.
This is where they read the Declaration of Independence, or did they
read it out to everyone?
No, wait. I can't remember. They read something. This building did not used to have all the craziness on it. There's like a
it didn't have glass skyscrapers all around it at one point.
There's a unicorn and some sort of a lion.
Those have been
here.
added later.
No, these are all new.
Oh,
this are
all
all old,
Okay,
but
okay.
maybe fixed up.
Sure.
But it used to be that they would read things here.
Yeah, like old timey, where you had to stand on a balcony and proclaim things.
And that's where it would be. And so they ran, like I said, John Hancock. This is his like official grave where he's buried. One of the things that was a problem is that after he signed some documents, and what was it? What did John Hancock sign?
The Declaration of Independence, right?
And so when he had the biggest signature, and so somebody wanted to like cut off his hands, and his body moved around all kinds. It was pretty interesting.
I heard a thing about him is that he wasn't being a dick by signing his name so big. He was one of the first people to sign, and he was like, I didn't know how many people were signing, and I thought we were all going to sign it that big. And then everyone did it all tiny around me.
He's like, well, that's John Hancock. He took his thing. So this was cool because it's a little hard to see, but this is where we stayed, like way up in one of these buildings here. And like right as you stepped out of here, this is like the main street you can walk up, and a big old park behind it. So fun times in Boston. That's where I was at.
Would you want to live? Would you want to live in a really big downtown city like that?
Like I would. I don't think my family would. And then this is where I wanted to show you Boston dynamics. Cool. Is like that was a cool thing. But yeah, as far as like living,
it wasn't walking around though.
Yeah, there absolutely did. This was just happened to be like one of the ones you can touch.
Right.
But hell yeah, I would want to live in a big city.
Me too.
I
want to be in the mix. Yeah, we looked at some houses 100%. In some like out places, where it's like wooded and everything and away from everyone, and I was like, I don't know, I kind of want to be in the mix of shit. Like I'm gonna be near where stuff's happening. I want to go to events and see, be like, I'm down the street from a crazy parade thing.
I love that life. Yeah. I love it was cool because I think the family, they're not into it as much, and we're like walking around really. And I
could convince Kathy.
You
probably.
dip in and then you go up to this apartment and like I'm like, yeah, it's a little smaller, but I'm not going to be hanging out here. I'm going to be like walking around and doing everything else all the time. That's what I'd be doing. It's just a place to sleep and store some groceries, right?
It's like the bigger your house is, the bigger you just fill it up with stuff, and how hard it is to get it all down again.
Yeah, so I loved it. It was a really cool kind of place, you know. Lots of walking. It was like a heat wave going through there, so it was a little rough for that to be. I mean,
and it's like crazy humid there. Right?
96 humid. Yeah. I mean, is pretty damn. It felt like 103. It was pretty hot. But
was the baseball game okay, or was that?
It was at 7:00 at night.
Oh, okay, perfect.
It's funny because the airport to where we were staying is probably like 15 minutes. It took us over an hour and a half to get there because there was like a crazy traffic jam, and then the Lyft driver got a ticket for $200. It was like this whole like drama, and I was like, "Are we gonna make it to the game?" And we like got there right on time.
Nice.
And
baseball games start on the moment.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
they are not late. Like,
they started early.
Yeah,
they're like,
we're
getting this thing going. It was Father's Day too.
Oh,
it was Father's Day game. I was like, I should get a sweet Father's Day thing, but no, they're like, whatever.
They're like, us being here in our presence at this game where you dragged us.
The crowd was cool though. That was the coolest thing about it, is that you could really see like people lived it.
Yeah,
like it was just a part of their culture. You're a sports fan through and through if you live in Boston. So
I heard there's a lot of like front row seat, like long time season ticket holders that don't get like box seats and stuff. Like they want to be on the field with people
part of it.
Yelling and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Celtics won the NBA Finals. I was like, it was the craziest time to be there. And
was there like, I didn't hear about riots or anything like that. So was there like flipping over cars and burning them?
There wasn't that much, but the crazy thing was we were kind of walking around, and then we were like, why are there hundreds of police officers walking everywhere?
Suddenly, we were like, there's a terrorist. There's been a terrorist attack.
What is going? I was like, it's NBA Finals. I was like, holy crap, it's tonight here in town.
Right.
And there's a good chance that they were going to win
Game 7?
No, it was like 6.
Okay.
And of course they won. So the second they won, you heard like all this stuff go off, and then it was funny. The next day we were walking through the town. There's all these things that were spray painted with Celtic stuff, and I guess like shoes and clothes everywhere. There was definitely it was right in this main street where I suspect that everyone kind of celebrated.
That's fun. Wow, what a cool time to be there.
Yeah, it was a neat little experience to be there. So, anyways, that was a Boston trip. Did that last week. So I've been running around. You want me to turn this on?
I wanted to turn that on.
It's right here too, by the way.
That's true.
I did want to talk a little bit about the 3D print project, just because I came right back out from the trip, and then I started doing a bunch of 3D printing. And so one of the things that I've been working on for Kylia is her little 3D print thing. And so what I guess I could do is I could just show you. Mm-hmm. Hold on, I got to think about something here. I only have one shot to do this. All right, I'm going to try it. You can't see me. Can you see us? I don't think you can right now. Overlay.
A logo. You can see her the
that's
website.
That's the logo. Oh, here's our little pop-up.
We're OBS mixing live.
We're doing some OBX mixing live because I don't know where it is. Oh, that's the pop-up. I'm trying to fix our pop-up so it comes in on the right side. And
does it matter?
It matters to me. Matters to me, Ryan. It really does.
In what way though?
Because
it's better.
Oh, whoa! Look at this.
Wow, it's a mid roll, mid show.
Let's see here. If we're on, it's on my overlay. I got you. So if we do this pop up, let me check this out. This should fix us. Okay, so where's our pop up?
We're still on the right.
There we go. Oh, not that pop up. Oh God. I'm screwing things up. You can see. Oh, here it is. This is the one. Now we're flying over to the side.
Hey.
Okay, now we should be back to normal. All right, let's just test it out. Yay, we did the thing. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is this has been what I've been working on this past. Right when we got back, I had set it up. And if you remember on the show before, I had done something special, and I'd never done it before. So since we do 3D printing a lot, I wanted to talk about it, is that if I go back to this, we had these 2 zones where it would print differently. And one of the things you asked me at the beginning of the show was, like, did you mess up, or did you have something that messed up? And usually I would say yes. And that's why I usually do 9 up. But I tuned it in so good that I ran all my runs and everything came out exactly like I wanted
Wow.
to. And I was like, I was pretty
Amazing.
impressed with it.
You're like perfect. Got it dialed in perfect. Next sprinter.
Yeah. Well, it took me some time to it probably took me 10 hours of prep to get it to work that well. But what you could see is, I know I was trying to explain it last time. See, there's one outline around here. There was 4 outlines before, and it was all jacked up. But I made it so it squished everything together better, and it did it all on one layer, and then it changed as you went up in the layers.
Okay.
So as I added there's one thing that goes around that layer, and as I go up a little bit, you'll see how now there's multiple things around there. And that's when it switches into this different mode. And I was like, this is so sweet because it really expanded my ability to do crazy prints with different layer types throughout that. So what I wanted to do is I'm going to go and grab one of those
Yeah, I was
prints.
going to say you kept one, right?
I haven't gave it to her yet.
Oh, so you have all of them.
I do.
How many are we talking about?
So we have 30.
Okay.
So let's see here. I probably can pull it onto this cam right here.
Yeah.
So here's my little box of them.
Your to-go box.
Which this took over 60 hours to print.
Wow.
And it shouldn't have because of my printer. I had to run it slower. But you can see on the back,
yeah, that looks way better.
It looks really nice. Oh, it froze, didn't it? Oh, maybe not. Yeah,
There we go.
It looks really,
Yeah.
really clean. And then the thing is, and I had a version I don't have in front of me right now, but it used to see cross-hatching in there. It's not there anymore. So
great.
looks good. Let's see
Solid.
if I can get the glow.
Yeah, hold it up to the light.
The glow looks so good. I'm
Nice.
telling you, man, it is sweet.
Have you used this glow-in-the-dark stuff before?
I've used glow in the dark before, but never glow on glow.
Oh.
And so that's what this one is. And let's see if I can get a glow on glow in this this light right here. It's hard when there's so much light.
Yeah.
You could actually kind of see it, but it's so bright in here.
Yeah.
But what's so neat is it's purple with what is it, glitter in there plus
And glow?
yeah. And so it
Wow.
was when you actually get this is a sweet little medallion to get if you're gonna go to this thing. I'm actually kind of stoked. I'm like, nope, the 3D printer broke.
Just keep them all. No, just make some kind of collage.
Yeah. So, well, since I'm back here, the other thing I wanted to say is that because of my printing, I had some challenges. And let's see here. Can I do this? I'll stop that. One of the things that happened was the nozzle went out. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of a walkthrough time of some things that I did. These are my printer nozzles that I've created. And what it does is I just tore apart a webcam.
Oh, not nozzles.
Nozzle
camera.
cameras.
Nozzle camera.
Sorry. Yeah, nozzle camera. And so what I did is I tore apart the webcam, and then I printed this this little mount. I had to make this mount and figure it out, and then this would mount right on the thing. You have to have a manual focus camera, so this is one of them. I created another version, this particular one here. This is when I found out that you can't have a camera that has a autofocus because it moves and kind of bounces all the time and it gets out of focus continually.
Right.
So this is just an example of what that looked like, but I spent the time to go and print it, build it, mount it, do all the things before I figured that out. Then I had another one, which this one actually still works. So this is my latest build of one. And then I decided I wanted to build another one. So I did this just in the middle of doing all the printing. This is an Arduino cam. And so it's kind of cool because it has this bigger, and it looks nice. It's HD cam, but
Ooh.
something happened where I have to re-solder and build the cable again. So I don't have it mounted. My hope is that this comes together. When I mounted it the first time, it worked for an hour, and it might have either got too hot and then this board got messed up, or my little cable broke, which I'm hoping it's just the cable. But
Right.
it's just this camera. Which one was it? This camera. If you've seen the stream, this is the guy that you've seen show that thing for hours on nozzle cam.
Yeah, a bunch of it got streamed, right?
How pretty is that little camera? Well, actually, some of it, yeah, on some of those. Though that was really fun. The other thing I was gonna talked about it a minute ago. I'm just gonna show it to you. So I have a nice little Firefox logo on it. But this is that old MacBook that I had purchased, and I was so mad because it went out of style. So it's like you can see it's like an older version of it, but I'm not going to turn it on or anything. But loaded Linux on this, and this is what I took to Boston. And so the story was,
Yeah.
we get to Boston, and Heather starts taking pictures, and she runs out of space for taking pictures on her phone. And so I'm like, how are we going to back up all these photos? So took the Linux out, was able to get a cable, back up the photos that she could build some room on her phone to be able to do some of that.
Nice.
So I thought it was a nice way to like kind of test it out. I was like, this is exactly
Did it
why
feel
I
like a
bought it.
normal like operating system? Just
Yeah,
you
I've
know?
been using it. Ubuntu is the one I'm currently using, and I really believe I could completely convert all my stuff. Now, if it was you and you had Adobe stuff,
right.
I'm not sure that it would be able to be convertible for you, but kinds of things that I do, I really think I can go full bore on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've always thought that was like interesting, and even if you just had something, you know, because I've thought about like, oh, you need a big beefy computer when you're doing Adobe stuff and everything, but I don't need that all the time. And so I was like, oh, if you just had a little computer and it was just running Linux and it just had you, you know, be able to surf the web and
I mean, it does full stuff. You could play crazy games. I want to get like a full build on it.
Well, those little Steam Decks are all on Linux, aren't they?
I think there's pretty much are all kinds of versions of Linux. So if you get the little tiny computers that we were working on, our little Raspberry Pi, they run versions of Linux. And then there's really kind of robust ones. Ubuntu is one that people use more like full scale. What you see right here is I just wanted to show you kind of how these mount on. And it's funny because you could see Adonis. I forgot that's on there. It's on our stream video, the one that you have that's our little intro video.
Nice.
It must have been before I built one of these. But this thing, like, it mounts onto here. I built it, and that's what it would look like when it's all said and done. So
Ha.
just thought that was I just wanted to share. It's a
Yeah.
little behind-the-scenes thing. I tinker. I do
No,
that
like,
kind of stuff. It's fun.
Like little mini cameras are cool.
Yeah, and so...
And that one looks like it has a lot bigger lens, so it'll probably be quite a bit cooler.
And I found that the reason it may have not been as cool before is because I didn't have a light on it.
Oh,
And
you know?
and so what I was here's the thing, and this is how stupid or fun or nerdy I am, is that so I've been figuring out how to build an LED light to mount into the next version of that camera. So like I had some
The
little
Arduino should be
LED.
able to do that, right?
I have an LED and then there's the USB cable, and how you do it? They're like, just solder these leads to these wires, and I
Oh.
did, and it worked, and I was like,
Sweet.
all right, I'm making one.
Nice. That is good. Well, that's sort of the whole point of an Arduino, right?
Wait. He said, "What the heck is that camera movement? You didn't want to see." He wants to see the camera movement. Check this out. Wait, I gotta get to that camera. Here we go. Check out this camera. Ready?
Whoa.
Hey, we can see my fat back. Ready?
Sit up straight, for God's sakes.
Yeah, that's our little zoomy cam.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Action shots.
Yeah, you can zoom in and you can do some fun stuff with that.
Nice.
Didn't know I had that, did ya? Oh man, it's fun. So yeah, you can program those things. You have 3 programmable pieces. It's called an OBS bot. So I'm actually getting to the point where I've been really nervous about the stream setup. So if you're curious about that, the stream is getting close to needing some very specific love, and I have to swap out the computer that we stream this on. So I've been
That seems like pretty big love.
Yeah, it's a thing. So I've been building a computer for months, and I'm getting all the parts and pieces ready. I've test run this exact setup multiple times with the other one, so I have to pick the right moment
Is this
to
the
cut
mobile
over
kit
to it.
version?
No, this is just an actual
Straight
full
up,
on
like,
new
replacement.
computer,
Cool.
because it's so
It
new.
fell off the back of a university truck, huh?
No, it did not. This is funny. Here's the story: is my son? He's like, my computer's not cool enough, and I'm like, dude, we just built that. It's like
Right.
an i9 and all this stuff, and so he wanted to go build this new computer. Second time, he's 13. He's building his other second super beast computer.
Nice.
So I'm like, well, I'm buying that one off you for like $700, and like it had some really good specs, but he took his video card and put it into the other one because it was good. So I got it, and then I had to buy a video card for it.
I have your old 760 if you want it. Well, was it even a 760? Maybe it was even older than that. Yeah, Adam let me borrow it when my 1080 blew out. and until I got a new card, and I had it, and I was like, what am I gonna do with this? I don't even want this back because we're moving. And I was like, well, I'll just throw it in with all the electronic stuff, whatever. So it'll be there for you if you need it.
I don't think I do because I got a new one online.
Well, I was like, at some point you're not even gonna be able to use it as a backup, right?
I don't even think it would probably work very well. But the cool thing is, so I got this one up, got it up to Windows 11, which I don't know if I really should be doing that because I heard it's crap, but I got it all set up. I got a new. The problem that I had was I didn't have enough USB ports, so I just bought like a PCIe or whatever and so now it has all that. So, all right, we are really far behind. Let's get into some news here.
Just a couple. Do a couple of you. Do one or two of your favorites.
Well, I think they're all quick hits, so I think we can hit them all real fast if we want to. So the first one, Mike Azul put this one in the chat today. We talked about the announcement, which I think is pretty interesting. Wanted to get your hot take on it. We talked about it in the Discord a little bit today, and that is Xbox games will soon be playable via the Amazon Fire Stick.
Oh yeah, I feel like we're going to the no console future, right? Yeah. They thought Google bet on it and Amazon bet on it that we were in a no console future, and people kind of went, I don't know, I don't think we are yet. And so it didn't do good, right? Like the Google Stadia and what was the Amazon one?
Well, but now it's Xbox and Amazon again, right?
Yeah, but now they're just like, whatever, just put the Xbox shit on there. Because Xbox does do cloud gaming, I feel like, pretty well. Like, they have that. I've used it before, right? Where you just go like, I don't want to download your game on Xbox Game Pass. I just want to play it for a little bit and try it.
Was Stadia Amazon? I thought it was Google.
Google was Stadia.
Yeah, see, that's okay.
And Amazon was something else.
Amazonia. No, I don't know. I don't know.
It's killing me. Anyway, there's something. So I think they've just abandoned that. They literally just like cut ties on the whole thing.
If you read it, you basically have to have the Ultra subscription or Ultimate subscription, and then you have to have the 4K sticks and stuff like that. Yeah. And so the thing I was saying in the Discord and my hot take was that I played Halo Infinite on my phone on a trip, and it really worked well. I was like, I was surprised. I remember one time being like, with the day I'm playing Halo on my phone, it's going to be a good day. And I was like, crap, you can kind of do it. And you're not doing a local kind of thing. So anyways, my hot take is...
I think it's going... I think this is where it's going.
It is. Do you know that it's like... there's a hate and love to this. And one thing is, life and things are finite. I used to love to collect stuff. I still collect stuff. I had the freaking Ninja Turtles shit over here. But on the other side of it, it's like... I don't know. Do you really need the game? I was... PO'd the other day. I went to go play Fallout. I had the actual Fallout disc, but I bought the DLC online. And I was like, oh, whatever, my internet's out. I'm going to go play Fallout. And I downloaded all the stuff. And it's like, nope, you don't have an internet connection. You can't play Fallout. Yeah, no, I was like, I have the freaking disc right here, y'all. You're like,
the disc is in the console.
Come on. Yeah. I was mad about that. So that's the thing. It's like they really want to just say, like, yep, you got a subscription, but you can't actually have this thing. No. So I was PO'd about that one.
Yeah, but that I feel like if everyone's internet was slightly better in America, they would have already gone up.
Talking about internet...
Yeah.
Hot news.
Hot news.
This is the last stream on Comcast.
Ooh.
Supposedly, next Tuesday, I will have 1 gig up, 1 gig down, fiber from freaking T-Mobile. So
it's pretty good.
It's I'm pretty stoked about that. So one of my buddies, Frank, has it, and he's been getting that speed. He said it's amazing. So just think about how fast things are gonna go. But going to Disturbed, that is the problem. You don't actually own it. And I mean, you never technically owned it in the past. It was a license to use it, but it was nice to be like, hey, I'm here with no internet connection. I can just shove this thing in here, and the experience is what it was whenever the last time I touched this thing. And
things get deleted from stuff, right? Like there are online games or games that never had physical releases that come and go and then are gone, and there's too many of them to like archive properly, and fun things end up going on the wayside, right? Whereas if you had a physical thing, nobody could, just be, I guess you could throw them all away, but for the most part, somebody's going to have them and be able to do something. So it's sad. I do. I like physical.
rough.
I like physical things at some point for like collectors and for that kind of like historical preservation, but that's not where the economy goes, right?
It isn't. So tell me a little bit about Metroid Prime 4. If it's the story I'm thinking, it was a debacle.
Well, so it was.
Oh, debate is over. We got news. All right.
It's like they're coming in fast now. The debate's over. Nice.
Oh,
Watch a
man.
debate, doing their good civic duty and watching that discussion. Cool. No, wait, what were we talking about?
There's Metroid Prime 4. Debate my ass, yeah. Grr, I don't even want to see some old people do that, but whatever. As far as there's been a lot of scenarios that I've seen where like having a persistent internet connection, not being able to play games has been a debacle. But it sounds like Metroid Prime. I didn't know about this, so I don't even know if it's an old or new game. I've not been up on the thing. So
well, in between the last time we talked, there has been all of these summer game announcements. Like Xbox did a whole thing, PlayStation, Nintendo did theirs. Summer Games Fest was on. Lots of the new Gears got announced. The Metroid Prime 4 got like shown. There's like a new Mario and Luigi game.
Let's watch a video on this then. I'm gonna watch it right now.
Okay.
Is it bad?
I don't know. I haven't been following any of the internet stuff on this, but
we just got DMCA'd. No, just with that click. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know.
You have some
like watch this demo, and I mean you are probably more of a Metroid player than I am, and see if it floats your boat.
It's very cosmic. I liking it. Got some sounds going on.
Oh, that's right. To serve, yeah. Zelda got her own game.
Oh wow, Saving
So
Link.
she's
This is classic. Okay, so you always land the ship and you pop out the top.
Pop out of the top, of course.
And you do the sweet flip in the
this
hero
and
land.
then your thing, and you're in the thing, right? Yeah, but like,
It's first person.
This is what it is, right? Which some of the later, or like the Metroids that they've had have been like this.
All right, let's turn this down. We can talk over it. Okay, he's running around, or I can turn it a little bit up, but.
Yeah, just do it a tiny bit. Yeah, I mean,
It's cool because so what were you expecting?
Yes. That's
Did I
true.
say?
Did we say he? Okay, see, ball style,
It's all the classic Metroids.
classic,
That looked like a elite.
and elite. This whole thing to me looks like Halo 1.
Yeah, it does.
Tell me this doesn't look like Halo 1.
Well, then that's great.
I guess.
I love it.
But like, aren't we past that a little?
I don't know. I kind of
don't
want to
know,
play it
man.
now.
I guess. Like
It looks
maybe.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Switch. It's very like.
Well, so
I can't tell
because
if-
that's what people are saying. They're like, "Oh, that's coming out on the Switch 2 because it's coming out next year."
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Oh, the Switch 2 is coming out next year." But Nintendo does that all the time. They like straddle games, so they'll be like, the Zelda Breath of the Wild came out on the Wii U and also the Switch, right? And it was just better and ran better. I think that's what they're doing.
Well, thanks for call out because that actually got. So here's my thing. You said, "What's my take?" Is I like Metroid. I like the universe.
Mm-hmm.
If it gets a little bit like Halo and it's really fun. So part of Metroid that's different than a Halo, which kind of alluded to, is you're still having to like go back and forth and doing like little exploration of things, and you unlock this area and then you go this way, and I saw a little bit of that in there. Could be cool.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like, that's where a lot of, like, Halo was very linear in that sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like you're going to point A to point B. But now it's not. Now it's way more open and everything, and it still feels like this is kind of stuck in that realm.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Well-
we'll see. I don't know. I'm not as big a Metroid fan, and I was like, oh, if I was comparing this to a modern first-person shooter, kind of feels a little dated.
Well, I mean, I would agree, but it has the what do I want to say? Like the whole Nintendo shine to it,
Yeah.
where it just looks like everything Nintendo looks like it's 5 or 10 years ago. It feels like that's always their thing. Like make it as fun as heck, but make it look old and retro.
And that's where I feel like it works great for games that you see like a Mario jumping around. Like nobody who does games like that anymore, right? And so it feels like it makes sense. But I've seen a lot of first person shooters, you know, and so I have a lot to compare it to. And
fair enough.
Hey, Sora.
All right, so let's take a look at this. So one of the first things is I didn't even know Toys R Us was a thing still, but apparently it is.
Owned by some kind of legal conglomerate.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I can't tell if they would want to DMCA us or if they're just going to be excited. They would love us.
Anyone is talking about
oh my God, they're talking about our thing. I'm pretty sure this is the only way they got any kind of like press is because of this. And so this is their Sora version. So it's like, is this really stealing? Because like, I don't know.
Did you ever wonder how Toys R Us
So this is
and
not
Jeffrey the Giraffe
completely done in Sora.
All right, first of all, we're going to stop this.
Sora is OpenAI's like new text to video that they haven't released yet.
The whole thing is not.
But like I listened to a podcast and they were talking to the people who can do this, right? And they were saying like what parts aren't. And so like the little giraffe, like there is parts that are like CG added to it, right?
Is that guy's head CG? Because
no, I think it's more like the little giraffe is.
His head is just like it looks just a little bit bigger than it should be.
I mean, it's very right. Who said it in the Uncanny Valley? It's Polar Express, area.
To change toy stores.
I was like, it looked like he was sad.
Yeah,
like,
it looks like he's dying, not sleeping or whatever.
Whoa! I like toys. They're everywhere.
And like I think that stuff, that little After Effects stuff is them.
CG.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's terrible.
Yeah, I mean it's like not a great commercial.
And that's AI singing.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my God, that's not AI singing.
Like that's a real crappy singer.
A guy should become an AI singer because oof. It's like, is it trying to get on our like emotions here?
I don't know what it's doing. I think they were just trying to do something quick that used Sora to create the first brand, whatever.
All
right, what do you think, chat? I don't know.
I mean,
Sora?
again, not great, right? But what did DALL-E look like a year and a half ago? It was barely able to create any images, and now like it's here. So I feel like I don't know.
It felt bad. I just felt like that was not good, in my opinion.
It's not. It's not yet.
Was,
and when we get to these memes, did you watch this one about? We gotta watch this one about the memes.
Yeah, I'm grabbing the memes up right now
because I feel like that would be a good transition.
All right, well, we will end on the memes and then we'll transition.
I was a Toys R Us kid. Bought like tons of stuff, like game consoles and. What else did I buy? That's where I always got like gift cards too.
I was gonna bring up a CD part of Ryan's Past, but I don't know if that was at that store or at Walmart. But we won't even go. We won't go there about the banning of what happened. We all know this happened, Ryan.
Banned from stores.
You know what I'm talking about too, don't you?
I do.
All right, fair enough. All right, this is what get us figured out on what we're about to watch here.
These are they took a single screenshot of a meme and then they said finish this out.
God bless America, Adam.
3.
Yeah, this is a great show.
This is a
all right, so
loose one. We're drinking straight whiskey. Okay, so basically they took a meme picture and they had AI say like, okay, take this picture and finish out the animation of what you think.
Did they prompt it, do you think?
I don't know, probably.
All right, because when I watched this before, I watched it in the Discord, I was kind of like, how the hell did it do all this other stuff?
I did work for Toys R Us.
Hell yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I remember that. And it was... I
got my sweet heirloom Monopoly board because they would give you like 50% off something once at Christmas or whatever.
I remember.
I also bought Furbies and sold them black market afterwards. I would go into the back and be like, how many Furbies can I take from the back?
I do remember that. And then you would hide them.
And they'd be like 2, I guess. And I'd be like, great. And then every time the Furbies came in, I would get them. And then I would be like, instead of $50, they're $200. Who wants them for Christmas?
Were you the one that helped close them out?
What do you mean?
When they closed.
Oh no.
There, one of the things that I remember, and I can't remember if this was a you story or who told me, but when they were cleaning out Toys R Us, or they closed the building, they were like moving their shelves, and they found like a couple games that had fallen behind the thing that were like
nice.
15 years old,
Nice.
and
Oh,
it was
wrapped
sweet.
in their like plastic.
100%. Like,
Yeah.
and I was stupid at. I think there was like Game Boy games and things.
Oh,
and at that
man,
time, like
what?
I was just like, oh, who wants that stupid
Oh,
stuff? And I was like,
man.
now I'm like, oh my
Kicking
god,
yourself.
I wish I would have had that. All right, let's
Yeah.
watch this
Okay,
then.
let's watch
So, memes that had a
Some of these memes
potential-
I did not know, but
Okay, here we go.
definitely know this one, right? She's like looking over. A little bit. It looks like they're like in reverse, and then they just turn into a kid.
She's like, I'm sorry, the house is burning.
And she's like, now let's run into the house. Or she's like mad at her and then running. And then now she's gone and running back into the burning
That
house.
just seems
into the fire.
into the fire. She
And
burns
she's
up.
like, ooh, I love this one. This is my favorite. Because they're like, oh, wait. And then I guess I'm going to grab your boob. And then we're just going to mold into three. It's a threesome. And now you're just one person. And we're a different ethnicity.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
a completely different street. It's like
Oh, God.
talking, right? And then turning her head around.
This is, oh my god! Oh,
And then
it's
she's
extras.
like, and now I'm just out of the car and into the woods, or whatever.
That one seemed a little, at least a little bit more legit.
Or this girl,
The hand. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
it's a little weird. Like it's like I want to see her just like jaw unhinge. I don't know this meme, but it seemed like the most real for then until this part.
What?
Nice.
They're supposed to be on a horse.
Man, those are creepy. Little Bernie Sanders into his blowtorch house, and then he's like, "No, forget it."
This dude that's
This
all
dude's
passed out.
dead. And he's like running, and then running away. I don't know. Man.
Oh, wow. And he's like such hallucination.
Oh, this art is so creepy. They're like, "What are you doing?" Oh,
The shrug.
Kevin James. Ah, it's so weird. Yes, get out of here.
Oh man, I mean,
That's fun.
it was fun. It's like goes back to the original memes that the eating spaghetti kind
Yeah,
of ones. It's
exactly.
like it definitely
Exactly.
shows the it's not the great side of it. Well, that was
No.
great. That was fun. I love that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into three last things to talk about. First of all, I'm just going to hit up on this Lego thing because I thought it was super sweet. If you have not seen this, Ryan showed this in the Discord. This is a well, I wouldn't say it's a 3D
No,
printer. It is
yeah.
3D,
I guess.
but it's a Lego printer.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, Ryan, I don't know if you know what Technic is or the whole thing behind it. That the fact that they were able to build this thing off of just using Legos is it's freaking amazing. I know they use some computer stuff and they they plugged it into DALL-E to generate some of the images, but the fact
But the physical like printer is all
is
Lego,
all
right?
Lego, and this
Yeah.
is what's so cool about Technic. It's like it's a big thing, and it's used in engineering. It's a huge. I don't know. I'm amazed by it. I just want to say that like I love how they built this. Like this feels like my vibes of my childhood. I have so many Legos in this house right now that I saved from my freaking
Yeah.
childhood.
Me too.
And my son still has a bunch of Legos,
Yeah.
so this just hits on a lot.
Couldn't you do this 3D? Like let's say
Oh,
you had a
absolutely.
thing. And so here's the other thing. Here's what you need the real robot for is like I don't want it to just be out of single bricks. I want it to be out of all the little pieces of it. So I need something that can like build with all the little pieces. I feel like it'd have to be like two robotic hands at that point.
You'd have to like go find like have the pieces, but what I thought was sweet is you like load up the
Yeah,
pieces
that's
somehow in
sweet.
here, and it grabs it and it
Yeah.
builds it and it makes a
and
sweet.
it looks like it sticks it in.
Oh hell
you
yeah!
know, like
Well, but did you know this is a thing? Like this is a Lego thing is to build murals out of those little one
didn't
things.
know
Like
that.
this is there was a conference that I've been at. It was a con. It was a Minecon, and that was the thing is you picked up these things and you had to go plot them into the right place, and you make these humongous murals.
Cool.
It's so the fact that this thing works like it does, and this guy goes into like a video on it. We're not gonna watch the whole video, but I'll scrub through it a little bit. But the guy talks about this like building it. So this guy must have been the one that built it. I don't know. He's got a Lego bag. He apparently really loves Legos because of his ability to create something like this. So he improvised on it, but these little like ability to pull it together. So through the video, he talks about how he's able to identify certain colors, and you transition it and you move it from what the brick might look like, from what Dolly was able to create, and then go through it. So he goes through more so of that side of it and how you convert an image from Dolly into an actual pixelated
Interesting.
image.
I kind of need that.
I was gonna say you should go look at that. Maybe
Yeah,
he's gonna
right?
go put that thing down. So, anyways, the logistics of like putting
It's
it
always-
together was
you know
way
what-
crazier.
You know what the always hardest part is like all of that stuff is way too high pixel, like for what we're doing anyway. Like even the stuff that he's doing, right? Like that fox is like
at that
120 pixel, or whatever.
But it's so sweet.
It does look cool.
Like the way it grabs a little block and then it just like dumps it out. I don't know. I was impressed with it. I love that was posted in there. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, robots. First of all,
Robots.
we're gonna talk about the skin one next because that one's creepy. But check this robot. Is this the future, Ryan? It's like getting to the future right now. This kind of robot.
Hey, this is Nick from Hard Reset, and I'm here with Digit from Agility Robotics.
Agility robots.
Say
I
hi,
never heard of
Digit.
that.
Digit is meant to work.
It's giving him the finger. That was like off camera.
Yeah.
And you've
Yeah, he
probably
doesn't have
noticed
fingers.
that it looks a little different. Digit's legs are closer in terms of how they function
Like a
to
horse.
bird's legs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they give it some interesting advantages when it comes to working in a human-centered environment. For example, it's easier for Digit to crouch all the way down without its legs getting in the way. While there are a lot of interesting humanoid robots around, Agility just opened a new factory where they're going to be mass-producing robots just like this. And that means you might see them
They
around
said.
a lot more.
That's
so
what I
are
would
you
say,
ready
too.
for your next delivery to come from a robot?
Did you see the
Hey,
Elon
this is
Musk
Nick from
robots
Hard
are,
Reset, and I'm
are
here
going
with-
on sale for $10,000? You gonna buy one?
gosh.
Buy one of those Elon Musk robots?
I mean, okay.
You can have it in the back. You can be screw the skeleton. I want Elon Musk robot here.
coming up and like
Donate to the Patreon.
we'll just train it with you, Ryan. When you can't make it down,
It just jumps in. It's like, hey, what's up? It's like exactly like me. Damn it. Like I can't come down. Just have the robot do it, Adam.
yeah. I don't know. I just like it's starting to feel like
Yeah.
these things are gonna be in our lives a lot more in the
Yeah.
near
Okay.
future.
So give us the over under. Like, are robots, in people's houses doing stuff in 10 years?
No, I think it's in the next 3 to 5 years.
3
You
to
have
5
robot.
years?
You
No
just told me
way.
about a $10,000 Elon Musk robot. How is
thing is a
that?
piece of shit. You know that thing's a garbage.
So you got to think about it like, okay, early adopters. You said in houses. Like to what level of person?
Yeah, because I feel like here's the problem. I see them all the time bending down and doing stuff, right? But what I never see is it like doing the dishes, loading the thing, and doing his stuff. Because if it could do that, it would be in everything, right?
Because Ryan hasn't seen it. It hasn't happened. It's not
oh,
there.
well, like if those were, I feel like those would be on sale at Home Depot right now if they could do that stuff.
For 10 grand though, if that's
I
the
mean, for
the
10
thing.
grand, yeah, we're pretty far away from that. Like.
I know this is gonna. I mean, we're just there, regardless of where we're at. It's happening.
We're like headed. Adam and I are like just eyes forward, just shooting as fast as we can into the abyss. Over the abyss.
Okay, you just asked, are these robots going to be here? Let's just end on a crazy robot thing, and I would love to hear everyone's take. If you've not seen this yet, crazy news. Okay, from New Scientist, smiling robot face made from living human skin cells. Who
That's
has
awful.
not seen this?
I have not.
If you've not seen this, all right, I want some hot takes on this because this has been made with living skin. Ready?
iRobot is a great movie and a good book. What?
That is living human skin. This is freaking Terminator.
Ligament inspired anchors. Is that just like ropes?
Like they've grown this skin and
Why
they're
is this so pink?
because it's I don't know, it's not
Ew.
seen. The team put the skin around a robotic face and moving rods to make it smile.
Okay.
Creepy.
It Yeah, that is. I mean, but that's what you would kind of want for an iRobot type thing, right? Like,
I'm saying like
It
they're
looks
they're
like,
they're working on figuring out how to put that on robots
like
now,
a robot face,
so that you could
just like iRobot.
because then it starts to be more realistic. Then
Yeah.
that's where we start to get to this new version of the future.
Yeah.
that we're
God,
getting
could you
to.
imagine like a robot with that on your face, walking around asking you to do the dishes or whatever? I would still have him do it. I don't care how creepy it is.
This will
I
make
hate doing housework, so yeah, do all that stuff.
what I'm saying though is like now you got your robot, you go get the other one that has the weird feet, and then throw that living skin on top of it.
There you go.
And it's going
Monster
around.
of the week.
I like Michael's Michael's take on this. It'll make or break in adult focused products.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's pretty gross.
But you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the reason people
When's-
use AI?
Okay, when it's gonna open a weird sex thing in Vegas, right? That's where it'll open, the very first one or something.
Right, in Amsterdam.
Yeah, like what do you think it is? It's like you going in and doing it with like a very realistic robot, or is it like selling them to weirdos like they do on like
probably all of them.
documentaries?
It's all, and you know what? It's probably gonna get even worse than that. They're gonna play like the people that think much differently,
out your
and they're like, yeah, print out your fetish is exactly what I was about to say. Like they're gonna go to another level of like, well, I love octopi, and I want to have a special octopi experience.
You're like a centaur. I want a centaur.
It's happening.
I want a centaur having sex with me. And they're like, all right, come back in 3 hours when your centaur is
6
printed.
months, we'll have a grown up for
You're
y'all.
like, ah, perfect. It'll be nice and grown, and then I get to kill him afterwards too, right? Of course. That's a VIP. That's a VIP
That's a
package.
VIP. Oh my god! And you know the worst part is that because we thought it's probably actually
Yeah,
gonna
you're like
happen.
someone has a VC plan around this that they're pitching to people.
Oh my god, it's happening right now. They're growing it. Centaur.
I could
Vegas.
see like killing a robot. You know,
That's
You'd be
terrible.
like-
I don't
you'd be
even
like-
want to go here right
It'd be
now.
like,
It's terrible.
like if you want to, because have you been to one of those rooms where you just get to smash up the room?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something completely different there.
okay.
I saw
You
that
heard something- you heard
8
something.
millimeter. I thought you were going 8 millimeter.
Okay. No. I have not seen 8 millimeter in a while. But
What?
So let's say you would go and smash up a room, right? That would
Yeah.
be fun. You know, having a bunch of stuff and getting your aggression out. Like, would nothing about like hitting a thing? I guess now that I think about trying to do it, I'm like, what do I want? It like pleading for its life?
Oh
no,
my
I
God.
definitely don't want that.
No, I would absolutely not
What,
want to do
what about
that.
like fighting it? What about fighting it to the death and it would like win? You would always win, but it would be like fighting it to the death. That'd be great.
Oh crap!
Like a gladiator arena with you and this robot.
This is getting terrible. Like, have you watched that? What was that other show that came out that was recent? The one that was on Netflix. They had 2 series of it, and they did that. They had they basically they had the sleeves. What was that thing called? God, some of you guys got to know it in the chat. But it was a whole series about that you couldn't die anymore. You had like your brain. You put it in a little like thing in your neck. It's not a Black Mirror one. Oh, God, I can't remember why I can't remember the name. But essentially, you take one little piece of your spine and you'd shove it into this, like, skin body. And you would grow it, and it would be just like a normal human body. You can go, like, fight and you get killed in it. And as long as you're a little, like, thing, you can take it out and shove it in another one and you're good to go.
Okay. Like sort of like Avatar, right? Like you're
That's like a
controlling
Avatar.
it. Yeah.
And so, I mean, is that where we're going with it? It's
Yeah, I could see that.
It was a pretty interesting.
It's like you're just a flash drive, and the body is just the vessel that you happen to be in that moment.
Oh man, I gotta look it up, or it's gonna drive me nuts. Yeah, in Altered Carbon. If you have not seen it,
I have heard that is good.
so the first one is amazing. The second one, not so much. But one of the interesting things that I thought was that, like, of course, the rich people live forever, and they have a bazillion versions of their sleeves they can go around with. But like, if you're like a plebe and you're this like this person, so this little girl died or whatever. But according to the like the government, you get a government issued sleeve. So there was like this like 70-year-old woman. They're like, oh, Susie, and she's like a 70-year-old woman, and they're because like that was a sleeve that was available. So you still have your daughter back, but she's down in a 70-year-old body, even though she was 7 years old. So
man.
Anyways, Altered Carbon, it kind of reminds me of what that skin stuff is. So if we were able to download our consciousness and shove it in a sleeve,
Yeah.
But until then, we got Terminator in there. We're gonna grow
Yeah, like,
around that crap.
we just have to make sure we get less Terminators and more just downloadable brains.
All right. Let's cool off from this craziness of going to Terminator and murder
Fighting a robot to death. And a
murder
gladiator.
robots in Vegas. Gosh,
Gladiator.
Ryan.
Could you imagine like you against a bunch of robots and you had like giant battle axes and stuff and you were beating and killing robots?
Yeah, what happens when it kills you though?
Nah,
That's the other.
It's like it's got things against that, right?
It
it
does.
stops. It like it's parrying you and stuff, but not
You
killing
like
you.
you have to grow a version of yourself and fight yourself.
Oh, see, and then we get to make out and have sex, and then I kill myself. These are all these all feel like Rick and Morty plot lines.
Oh my god, yeah. Or like you grow yourself and then that self kills yourself, but nobody knows it actually kills you. And
It's
then
like an
there it is.
exact Rick and Morty plot line, basically.
Takes
at that
over the
point.
world. All right, so I'm going to take a quick hit on what we did yesterday. We talked about AI. We've been talking about AI in this show for quite a bit of time. It is about 9:15, right? So we've been doing some pretty good stuff. That was a great news week. There's so much that has been going on.
Totally
and
fun stuff.
My gosh, like I am just interested. Did you have skin robots on your
bingo card?
No.
For the first half of the year?
I did not. So thank you for that. All right. So yesterday at CSU Pueblo, they brought in an artist. Well, artist is the wrong word, but somebody, I guess a person that writes books could be considered an artist. A creative person. Somebody that has done a lot of science research. She is a CEO and founder of a company called the Learning One-to-One Foundation. And so it's
let's welcome her on the show.
Hey, I mean, maybe in the future we could do this. So, anyways, she wanted to talk about AI. It was an AI presentation. She goes into it, and she took a very optimistic approach on the discussion around AI. What was really cool is I did actually show her that we did an AI board game, and we made some cool apps. And she's like, if you send that to me, she gave me her card. She did not give everyone her card. God, I hope I have her card. Oh, there it is. She gave me her card, and all right. I just want to show you this. She even signed my book. She said,
"Nice."
She said, Adam, you are Einstein's teacher. Damn, nice. I'm Einstein's teacher, y'all.
Wow.
Just kidding.
I mean, the title of the book is Becoming Einstein's Teacher, so imagine it's a thing that she writes in a lot of books.
So what's cool about it? She spent a bunch of time talking about how to enhance your life, how to be really productive. I mean, this is a research-driven book. She's a doctor, but it goes in through her take in this particular discussion was how AI can really accelerate your ability to get things done, and that then you can get back to like actual real life stuff. Yeah, no, I love that. What was interesting about the presentation is it felt like what Ryan and I have been talking about probably a year ago or 2 years ago, which was fine. A lot of people in there, a lot of I think
still blowing minds.
It was funny because my sons came with me. I brought both my sons, and I was like, hey, this is pretty interesting.
Cool.
Let's go into this. She had some really good insights, and I understand the importance of being able to have this discussion at this point. One of the things that was interesting is that there was this guy that was in front of us, and she's like, bring up your phones and put in chatgpt.com. We're going to do some stuff. And a couple of people put in some stuff. So I'm like, we're just prompting ChatGPT? Is that what we're doing today?
What we're doing?
And the guy's like, Jesus.
He was blowing
All
his
like
mind.
blowing people's mind. There was a lot of people that was a lot older in the crowd because it was like AI's effect on humanity. It's got
to blow everyone's mind the first time they use it, right? Like, or when they start getting into it and hearing how powerful it is.
So she talked about, and I'm not going to go through the entire presentation, but there was a couple things that I took notes on. I took notes just because I figured like this would be a great conversation.
Does it feel like something that she sort of wrote a book for 2 years ago and still is like
absolutely
kind
not
of like going on those?
Her company and her things that she does have really not a lot to do with AI. I think she was a software engineer. She actually sat on Biden's AI board to make some of the rules and policies about some of the things.
That's
so here's just a quick hit on her bio.
How do you
on her
pronounce
website.
that last name?
20.
Okay.
And so if you're interested, I'll just throw this one in the chat here. But what was interesting is her take on AI and what it can do for your life. So she talks about her book. This is the one that she gave out the book at the thing, got some signatures on it, Becoming Einstein's Genius. Spent a lot of time working in the education space and getting people to understand, like, okay, there's these tools here. And one of her things is like, AI is here. Okay. You just got to deal with it.
Right.
You're going to dig your heels in. You can say you don't want to do it, but guess what? You know what? No one's going to stop it. This is where we're going. She started talking about when we're going to hit AGI, and then she talked about super artificial intelligence, when it surpasses our brain.
Right.
And so her presentation was pretty awesome at just like setting the foundation of where we're at, where things are at right now, where we see it is. So they talked about analytical AI. So analytical AI was one of the first things that we really got into in the discussion. And what analytical AI, do you know what analytical AI is? Mm-hmm. So it's essentially what we've already been using for the last years. You go to Netflix and it's showing all these different thumbnails, and sometimes you're like, why is that one different this time for whatever Stranger Things you're looking at? It's because it's trying to train itself and saying, hey, which one am I going to make you click me by doing this? And so it's analytically looking at your patterns, and when do you click that button? Oh, you like that kind of picture, so now all of the pictures I put on Netflix are going to be that way. When you go search YouTube and all the videos start coming up on that right-hand side, it's because it knows the things that you like and how you're going to get stuck into it. Sure. So what she talked about is how we get hacked, biohacked. And it talked about saying how it hits our dopamine. It creates this like experience for us to say, oh my God, it's getting what I want to do. I found that video. Now I'm excited. Now I watched the video. Cool. I want to share it with someone. Now I'm really excited. I want to get that experience again. And you get back in this like figure eight loop of this habit. Yep. And so she was talking about basically like how we get into that. And I thought that was pretty interesting how, she was just saying like, how do we get out of it? Well, then we went on and she said, well, what is AI? And it's about getting close. It's like the intimacy kind of analytics, or it's a way that's saying like, no, you should always come to me because I give you all the answers. I'm the one that gives you everything. Right. And so it's trying to develop this relationships with you. And so because she's a teacher and because she's talking about education, her perspective was, how do you break out of that loop? How do you get out of this habit of just being like, TikTok video, cool, oh, share, now I'm back into it, and you sit there all night looking at freaking TikTok videos, and that's all you do because you're stuck in the habit. And it talks about education and like there was 4 things that she was really getting into, and I'll just tell you what the 4 things were right off the bat. She's like critical thinking, responsibility, learning autonomy, and then adaptability. Those are the 4 things that are going to really drive us into the future at being able to like handle this AI. And what she was basically saying is if you have critical thinking, you can get yourself out of that loop. You can stay like, okay, AI told me that this is the answer, but I'm not going to just accept the answer. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to validate. I'm going to look for the answer to 100% make sure like what you're saying to do. Because one of the things she said is like, okay, if you had to do a marathon in 6 months, put that into ChatGPT, and she asked everyone in the audience, like, okay, where, what did you get the results? And everyone got these plans on how to run a marathon in 8 months. And she's like, don't go just run a marathon in 8 months based off what ChatGPT did. It starts your process. It accelerates you a little bit more so that you can then go research and figure out, like, are those the right steps? Are those the right things to do? She's like, don't take it for granted. And then she talked about the iterative approach, but you have to have critical thinking to say, oh, yeah, that's not the answer. Like, that's the start of the answer.
The best, you know, like I really resonate with the idea of like getting out of those loops of like bad habits and things like that. And that's where I feel like your own little personal AI that you're going to have is going to be so great at that, right? Because when you have something on your phone that tells you, it's like scolding you, right? It's being like, you've been on your phone, you've been on scrolling on Reddit for 45 minutes, and you said to remind you at 45 minutes that like you should go touch grass, right? And like those are so generic and terrible that you're like fighting against it, you know? And the reason that you're not doing critical thinking, like building, you know, stuff and doing everything that like you should be doing, and you're doing that like garbage, you know, like junk food for your brain garbage is because like it's not it is more interesting because the algorithm and what people are trying to do is like making that really interesting.
And it's
right?
the dopamine release
and
in
it's
your
the
brain.
dopamine. But you know what releases amazing dopamine? When you like accomplish things and you do stuff, right? Like that is a way more powerful dopamine. The problem is you have to have like your intuitive, you have to like want to do it, right? And there's so many things pulling you in the other direction. Whereas a personal AI that knows you could be like spoon feeding you like little things and knows exactly when to sort of bring it up and do things. And then it's like, hey, we should be working on this project or doing something, right? That is more like critical thinking. And at that point, then it becomes more interesting than just scrolling or doing something like that, right? Because it's introducing you and it's the right thing and it's introducing the right people or it's community or it's all the things people say that they want in their lives but don't have time for. And then you're like, yeah, but you spent all this time doing garbage. But like if I were to offer it up to you and say like, hey, there's a softball meetup going on right now over at this thing and it has cool people there and you know two of them and stuff, like maybe you should just go to that and you could play softball on Thursdays, right? Because I blocked out your schedule and I moved that one from Thursday to Wednesday.
If it does
like,
that, for
like
sure.
those are the types of like agents that they're building, right? And I feel like that's how you get out of those loops, because the loop is always going to be there for junk food.
Well, and this is the challenge, is that you're 100% right if it gets programmed that way. What we're saying too is though, if the AI for some reason is like, well, softball is gonna make it so that you don't talk to me, you know, and like it's trying to keep you in, and the other thing is you're gonna
like,
have to have the motivation to be like, yeah, I could go to softball, but what I don't want to just watch a bunch of softball videos because, you know, that's what I'd rather do anyway. Like it has to like cut you off, or
because
how do you motivate yourself to do the
because
thing?
that's why you're gonna have to pay for your AI, and it's gonna, I've always said this, like you're gonna end up paying for your AI and it's gonna be like a mortgage bill, because it's gonna be so personalized and cut off from the rest of the world to you that it's gonna be expensive for a while, and you're gonna be like, no, because I don't want it influencing me to watch more Coca-Cola ads, right? I want it to influence me to like do amazing projects and go be fit and go communicate with my.
But they're gonna sell it cheap because they know that that's what it's gonna do. Guess who's building these things?
I mean, I guess so, but at some point, right? Like, if yours is just plugged into the internet and it's just giving you, I mean, that's how you end up with the Wall-E world, as opposed to like an awesome world of like self-fulfillment and like personal challenges being overcome, right?
So, and I'm agreeing with where you're headed, and I think that maybe the way that we think about life is like we want to touch and we want to create. We're like, that's a thing.
But I think people do. They just don't have the like, everything else is so much easier, right? Like you have to have the gumption, and I feel like the gumption is hard to get to, but like
that's
something
what I'm saying.
That's helping you do that would be great.
But see, that's I think the problem. It's easy to say something; it's harder to do it. And I don't know. I mean, for me, like I just get a little bit. Oh, I can't. I get the jitters, and I'm probably ADHD or whatever it is. Yeah. Like I have to go do something. But some people are just completely content, just constantly hitting that scroll, just like getting.
I don't know. I feel like that's not giving people enough credit. I feel like there's one little piece of you that wants to like go out and do it, and maybe that's ADHD or maybe that's something else, right? That like is forcing you to go, and somebody else's is just turned down slightly, right? But like they still get enjoyment out of going to work and accomplishing tasks, right? They still get enjoyment from beating a video game, right? And getting to the end and seeing it or whatever. Like all of those are little dopamine hits, and like that's all we're craving anyway.
In what I guess I'm saying is that yes, I'm agreeing with you. But if you have an AI that can, and this is the side maybe that I wasn't going to get too deep into, but there were some things she said that I was like, oh man, the audience that you say this to would like riot in certain ways. So good example was she's like, it takes the normal human 5 hours to be able to obtain this perfect kind of a photo. And it takes AI 0.8 seconds or something like that. And they're like, so why do we need people to go get photos anymore? And like, so I think what I'm getting at is that if somebody that typically has the gumption to create something or go out, but like, well, this thing does it in like less than a second, and then I have to go get my camera, charge it, go out, take a picture. What's the point anymore?
I guess
whatever. I'm stuck in the loop.
It's the process more than it is the outcome at that point, right? Like you have to say like I'm intrinsically motivated.
Yeah.
Right? Like the intrinsic motivation has to be high in that sense, because you know whatever you produce is going to be worse than what someone else is going to produce. But we do that all the time, right?
And
I know like somebody is going to make better Game Boy games than every piece of art that I've ever made, right?
Yeah.
And if computers can do that too, like you're like, well, I'm still gonna make stuff and people will still appreciate it. It's just capitalism.
And
too,
maybe
part
it's
of
in
that.
the end, and that's what I'm saying is like social media. The part of that loop that you're talking about is that once you get to a point, you want to go into social media and share some of it. It's not even share it because you created it, but share it because it's interesting, and then you get back in the loop. So if the thing that somebody wants to go build out is more for not because they want to build it, because they want to share it and be popular
Yeah.
or whatever, then they're gonna
I feel
be
like that seems okay. Like
it's okay
because then
until
you would be like, because then they'll be like, there's an AI Reddit where people post, videos of them doing stuff for AI, and then there's real, stuff where you're like, oh hey, I did it, and it was me doing it, and it was my handcrafted thing.
Well,
I just think it's all going to be handcrafted.
And
at
I
some
think
point.
I think what it comes down to, and we get to the end of the day, it's going to come down to the human themselves. If you can somehow break the loop, you can get your education, you can get to that critical thinking side of the house.
Yeah.
I think that's a core component. If you can like think for yourself enough to pull yourself out of it, and I'm only speaking for myself here, is that I find myself getting habits. I was in Reddit's hole for 10 years,
Right.
but I would take Reddit breaks. I would like, you know what? Delete it from my phone.
Sure.
I'm going to do something different. It was very hard. Like, but I did not have as much of an addictive personality to that, but it was very hard to like get out of that. And I still do that kind of thing. Like I can't get stuck into it. And I get all like freaked out about it. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go do something else for a while because I don't want to get stuck in it. I just don't see as many other people doing it. I'm like, person just keeps grinding on the same thing over and over and over, and I see like their potential sometimes too. Like I see students or friends or other people that are around me do these things, and I'm like, you have this potential to do this, and you're stuck and you don't see that they're in that habit. Like how do you help them break out? And I don't know if an AI would do that, is what I'm getting at.
Are you saying it's gonna like feed that? I guess that would
Because
be
what they were
that would
saying
be
is
the
it's
worst
a
thing.
race to the intimacy economy is what she was saying. So if you have an AI that keeps learning off you and wants to be your best friend, they were saying there was some statistics out there where like this is one of the most lonely kind of societies that we're having, and so people are starting to get addicted, like the movie Her and these other kind of things where they're like, this is my connection to the life.
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
I do think it can go two very different ways, right? It can go straight down into Wall-E world where you're just sort of consuming content and doing stuff like that, or it can go into being our best selves. And I don't know.
So
We'll wait and see.
I love the thing because it didn't go down the philosophical rabbit hole that we always get to of like everything's going crazy. The thing that I'll just leave it with this. We'll end it maybe on a high note if you're good with this.
Sure.
Is that her quote, and I didn't get it to verbatim, and she said, what's the future of jobs? What's the future of how we're going to go into there? And she's like, 44% of skills will be disrupted. And this is not just a random stat. She's like a doctor. She's done a bunch of work with a lot of folks to come up with this. And she said, here it is. AI won't replace you, but someone using AI will. And so if you don't start getting into working with AI, it's going to mess with you, because one of the things that she was saying is like, people are just using it for some amazing ways. And she showed like how you make a lesson like for a teacher. And she's like, this lesson is going to be crap if you took it directly from ChatGPT. But she's like, look how far in advance. It might have taken you 5 hours to get to this point last time. Now take the next 30 minutes and tune it up so you actually get it to the level that it needs to be. And so her whole point was like, we're going to push forward, use it to be productive faster, and then the rest of that time, use to be a human.
Yeah. No, as long as capitalism catches up with that and decides that, okay, because what I don't want is for now me to have to be 5 times as productive in my job that I used to be.
Well, you're 100%, dude. I thought the same thing. It's like that was my one complaint, is that I felt that it was very she did talk about the dark side. She's like, people that have this ability to do these great things also have the equal ability to do the bad things.
Yeah.
So
I mean, computers may be 5 times more productive in my job, right, than I would have been as a designer or creative person back in the day. And like, I'm not working 1 day a week, so it feels like it hasn't proven itself that capitalism is, or that kind of economy is very flexible in that way.
I'm in total agreement with it, and that's I think where my pessimistic side comes in, and I'm
too.
just like, come on.
That's what sucks. The whole thing is amazing without capitalism at this point, but we're so buried into capital. We are into capitalism. Like, the idea that we're gonna let go of that and be this utopian society is like, oh man, people are way invested into capitalism, right? They're not giving up their mansions or whatever, giving up their anything.
Well, and I mean, that's the challenge. That's what we're saying. Like, the people that are okay with trying to have, I don't want to say we're, trying to be communist or any of that kind of stuff, but it's like people like, oh, I worked my butt off and I got all this money and I did this and this person ain't doing nothing. Like, why should they get anything? And that's part of it, is that capitalism is that it's kind of like, well, you work hard and you get this because you put in all this effort, but we're like, now we're starting to equal that playing field. Yeah. And like you said, the people that have the money are like, oh, okay, how can we hold everyone else down if we have this thing?
Totally. Like, yeah. And but at some point you can't, right? It's why computers made it more egalitarian for everyone across the entire world to be able to communicate with each other and sell things and do stuff that they couldn't do before because they were under some kind of rule or something like that. And now you can, and AI is going to be the same thing, I think, as long as we just don't have murder robots killing us.
Well, I was going to say, we don't have to worry about this.
Past like the killing of us. Because if we can get past that, then
in 5 years, like skin grown robots are going to murder us all anyway. So don't even worry about this.
Moot. The whole point is moot.
You're like 5 years from now, from when all the robots when all humans are dead, they're like, look at these peasants. That
click to 5 years, and like Adam's in chains, and Ryan's the Tesla robot in the back.
You have the Adam and Ryan robot show back there, like, shut up.
How about this? How about people would create things because they want to be able, it's worthwhile to them to feed the algorithm new things.
Well, see, okay, that was actually a good point you brought up, is that they were saying that we've run out of the data. We're close to being run out. So that there's a new version of, she explained it, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this. And it was they talked about bias, and of course the bias. There was a lady that was there, and she had mentioned that they bought a refrigerator a couple years ago, and it had some sort of sensor on it that would like fill her water bottle or something with water. And she's like, it never worked for me, but it worked for my cousin. And she's like, and like, what's the difference? And it was because she was black and then he was white. And so they were saying there was already bias in some of the things that were there. And she was asking like, well, how does bias of developers get taken out of this damn thing? Because if you put CEO for company, it's a white dude, and then a white old dude that comes up. But they were saying like, as we start to train it and as we start to put other prompts of saying like a CIO that is a strong black female and things like that, like it's getting trained off of those prompts as well. So if people are starting to put that kind of thing in there, it starts to level the playing field, but it does take us actually. So it's like a second set of data we're creating data by putting in our data into the system.
Right. Into queries and prompts and things like that to do it. Well, it's why like, it's just training off of the data that it knows, right? So when you put scientist and it comes up with a white dude, you're like, that's because all the stock photos and all the things on websites and all the crap is a white dude, right? Because that's what we've been giving white dudes, like those positions, and not a whole racial like thing of it, And so then it's like, all right, well, then you gotta sort of bias it the other way. So it doesn't just always come up with a white dude, right?
I know it's disturbed, but I'm hearing you. And Michael, dead internet theory. There's another thing too. It's like there's a death of an AI too. It's like once you get to a certain point and it has so much data that it like becomes what is it? It's like cannibalistic of itself or something like that, because it's run out of itself and it starts using itself and it dies. But they're really trying to keep that. There's a freaking term for it, but I can't remember what it was.
Okay, that was quite a discussion.
I love it.
I'm glad,
I love
I'm
it.
glad it prompted a good discussion. We haven't gone down many rabbit holes lately.
Yeah, and this one wasn't actually as deep of a rabbit hole. I actually felt like we like dipped a little bit. I'm
down
thinking
into there, too.
the skin robots with AI has got me. All right, I got to be honest with that one. That's my big one here. We're gonna switch it over to the DIY channel here because we got to get into our DIY space.
Cool.
So we're gonna do some maker stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No.
Yeah, they are not a bad thing. They're good.
It's
No, and I
fun.
appreciate the conversation.
fun.
And this is the thing. So one of the funny things that I'll end on the conversation is, of course, my son sees me take out my phone and go into doubledropdown.com on my phone as we're like waiting in line to get the signature. And he's like, "You're not going to show her your stuff, are you?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And he was like embarrassed as hell.
Nice.
And I was like, "Hey, guess what? We made a board game using AI. And
You're
check
like,
out these
first words out of your mouth.
100%. It was. I'm not even lying. First thing, hilariously enough, I'm the IT director there, and of course they had a freaking IT issue right when they got in there.
Burn.
And I was just sitting there waiting. I was like, I know you're gonna call me, and I was telling my son like they're gonna call, and then they're like, Adam, can you? I'm like, here I go.
You're like, "Bring your phone.
I
ringing."
walked right up, helped them turn on their thing, get all that stuff, and so I got an introduction to them early on.
Oh, that's good.
So, but anyways, I went in there after, and I was just like, "Here's the cool thing. Here's what's going on." And even some of the other faculty that had like met with her first, like, "Oh, he's the guy that he taught me AI," and so it like gave me a
Nice.
little bit of that cred.
Cool.
But then I said, "Here's an app that I made with AI," or "Here's this board game that we made with AI," and she's like, "Send that to me, and I'll put it in my next presentation."
Nice.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send it to her.
Totally.
I gotta do that soon so she remembers
Yeah,
I
right.
did the thing. But as far as going into our next realm here is, let's talk about a little bit about Skull Bobs, right?
Yeah.
Are we in the Skull Bobs realm yet?
Let's do it. Can we play it?
Hell yeah, we can.
Yeah. I want to play with a controller though.
Okay. You want to play it with the controller?
Yeah.
Let's see how I can play it with the controller. How would I do that?
See, we got a little Bluetooth controller. That's how I did it.
Yeah, I knew. I need to like put it on. Oh, you know what we should do? Let's put it on your cart.
Oh.
And then we'll see if we can get it play it on controller. I think that's the way to do it.
Okay.
All right. So first of all,
Shing.
he's got his cart. Let me do this.
Because I wanted the kids to be able to play it, and they like playing it on the Game Boy.
All right. Do you remember how to get it on a cart?
No.
All right. Ryan doesn't remember.
Oh, I know. Anna bought me that for my birthday.
It's the lime green.
Green.
It's fun. I love that color. All right. So we got the Benven. This is the Benven card. So we're gonna actually let's just show it off. Let's jump in and show you how we're gonna do this. There's the game itself. So
Ooh, I had to make a change to the game for it to work for me.
oh yeah, what did you have to change?
I had to change the placement or of the where you collect the Game Boy at the top of the thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't go up through the thing. So then I moved the Game Boy over, but then it still wouldn't let me. So I think the actual ladder,
yeah.
like the ladder piece is not like so I changed it to a ladder piece and then I was able to get up. And I actually moved it all the way over to the left-hand side, so you had to make both long jumps.
Oh.
And I still nailed it.
So hilariously, I think I don't know if you downloaded the ROM or what you did, but I was like, oh crap, I found that out about it, and then I fixed it, and I actually put the
okay.
game over screen into this version, so I did fix it.
And I did die. I died multiple times.
Oh, so you did have game
but
over.
you know, like I had a game over, but I also noticed that like the sodas would not kill you, the ones that ramp you up. Did you do that on purpose? So we have these exploding like things of it's not soda, it's beer, right? Like exploding like things, and it sort of knocks you up into the air. And I noticed that it would take your health down, but it wouldn't actually, if you just only had half a life of health, it wouldn't kill you. And I was like,
Really?
oh, that's smart, because you don't want that thing like killing you every time. Now here's the problem. We just like pause the screen and then come back and then it's there and you do that. That doesn't make any sense for how it would actually need to work. But I was like, still, at least it's not punitive in how it's killing me.
So honestly, it should kill you, and it depends on where you're at if it hits you or kills you or not. So if you're underneath it, there's no hitbox to hit it. You have to. It's almost like it explodes up.
Yeah, no, it wasn't killing me because I was needing to try to get the key and I couldn't time it out, and so it exploded multiple times.
So this version that you're gonna get may have just a slight update to it. So
Okay.
we'll see that. So first of all, what we're doing right here is this is the Ben screen. So typically, in the past, what I used to do is I just put the card in and you drag a file to it.
Yeah.
But because I got this newer version of this carts, the one that you had,
Okay.
I have to go through a new way, and I think I have to erase it twice. And so I basically go in there and I'm erasing the game. So while we're erasing it off the cart, I'm going to go over to this game and I am going to do a quick build of the game. So I'm going to export the ROM. Just so we have that exported of the game itself. So I'm really excited because you got to see a new version I've really been looking at. You can kind of see it off to the side here. And I've been just anxious to see how that would work. And I don't know if you liked it, but look how much more space we have. And like,
Right.
I really want to, like, I'll talk about the vision with this is that once we play it, we'll get after it. But this is kind of how I thought you might approach some of it is like we do some of this jumping and then you'd be like, okay, how do I layer some cool graphics underneath that or something.
I think part of it is I was like, oh, we should save the up and down stuff for the next level, but I don't think we can.
No.
Like, I think there's just like not enough that you can do in that sort of sideways, you know, thing of it. There's just not enough like jumping around. Like a little bit, you could do a little bit, and I think we should, but I think it needs verticality too.
So what I'm going to do is I just got the export of the game. So we're going to go back to the Benven here. So this Benven, it's the cart, it's plugged in, USB into my computer. And behind here, I just exported the game from GB Studio. And I'm going to upload this ROM. So it's going to go onto here. And I have to find the ROM. You know what? It's going to be easier if I just chuck it on the desktop. So I'm going to do that.
Sure.
So then I can go to desktop. And let's find that ROM. There she be. And we'll hit open. So now it's going to load that ROM onto the thing. And this is where it's this isn't some big company making this. This is like a guy that has figured out how to do this, which I'm just like amazed that he's done this.
Just some guy in his basement.
And the cool thing is he has a Discord channel. And I remember going on like, oh my God, how am I going to ever get this? So we just loaded it. So hypothetically, Ryan, this should play the game.
Play the game.
So let's try it. We're going to try
it.
It
It's not found. I don't know if
it
that's
says, because it says Skull Bob's at the top. That's a pretty big thing. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna load it in here.
Oh yeah, do it on that one so we can
play it on the. We'll validate that it's actually loading, and then we can play it with this. So let's get this guy going.
So how much of this like new version of it was because of the new version of GB Studio that came out?
It is. Oh, hold on, let me validate this. Oh yeah, it loaded, bro.
Great.
I'm not sure, but I did get some additional enhancements.
Like double jump, was that in the old one?
All of this stuff, I had to convert it. There was just like some subtle things that I had to do to get this all squared away. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to load this up so that you could actually see it on the screen. So let me do the analog. Well, let me make sure I have all this stuff all in play. This will be fun to do. Oh, look at that.
Nice.
God, that's why I did it a long time ago. Okay, so this is our new game on the analog pocket, and then right here, I actually have a way that I could throw it over on the screen for you. It should maybe.
I'm fine with it right here. This is the screen that I look at typically.
It is?
Yeah.
Right, hold on a sec. Look at that.
Oh, okay, it's on both.
All right, so Ryan is going to play the game, and I think you should have some audio on it too. Let's see here.
Should there be audio here?
No.
Okay.
Just do a jump.
Yeah.
Do you see how it's like subtler of a sound as well?
No, it's great.
Did you listen to the sounds, by the way?
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
Did you happen when you talked to somebody? Did you hear that sound?
It was like a little like scream or something.
Well,
it felt like a
talk,
little like blah.
Go talk to the guy.
Yeah, like
I love it. It's
totally.
like I was like, how cool could that be?
Yeah, well, yeah, totally. It seems like super cool, and like, it seemed like talking with people is on a button.
Yeah,
but like looking at background elements is on up.
It could be both, and I just tried both. I just like converted everything to hitting A and B. So one of the things
He's gone. Oh no, wait there.
Oh yeah, because I didn't put constraints on where he can go, so he can just walk out.
Okay.
So one of the first things that I might say about the game that I spent some considerable amount of time on is, first of all, it's saying, hey, the door is locked. How do you get out of here? So okay, so
Got
D.
D.
You told me you wanted D.
Yep. And just pacing around in the background. That's perfect.
Did you talk to her?
Yep. Pop that rat. Nice.
Okay, I wanted to tell you something. D is not the full character. To make her look like she's behind the bar, it's just her head.
Yeah.
Literally on that
Totally.
line to make that work.
I'd be fine with that.
We have a full D though.
Yeah, we have a full D. I started to do her little walk animation. I like the idea. I like the idea of her walk with like her hand on her back. like the pregnant lady walk. And I like the idea that you can't tell that she's pregnant from this area. Like I might have put her up like 2 more.
Yeah.
Like I might have put her up like
Well, I was trying to say like if you're behind that bar, because look how
Yeah.
he's standing.
Yeah.
If he's there.
and she's higher up.
Yeah.
I probably would have put her slightly higher, but maybe it would have looked weird. Okay, so then I did like turn on. And
So
I
you-
hated that one. But I like this one.
Okay, with that, the only problem is, now this is something we have to figure out. When you hit jump now. Yep.
Oh.
It stopped. You're 100% right. You figured it out. And so what's going on is there are 4 tracks that a Game Boy can play. And so if we work with our music developer, we might have to say, hey, we're going to do all our sound effects out of this one track, only use these other 3 tracks so it doesn't conflict. I've been trying to solve that one. That is one of our errors that I can't figure out, but you're 100% right. Good for the call out.
Okay. Oh, got the skull. Nice.
So I think part of the thing we want to do is how do we prompt people to actually explore and look for things? There's your animation.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
You did a great job at making that.
Yeah, like it's weird because I almost like when they run by something that they can click on, I almost want it to like do something, but then that makes it too obvious. Like you should be able to be like going around and being like, what am I clicking on? Is this different than this? Like, do I need to learn something from this poster right here? Do I need to like click on some of these and go up here?
And so I think we should put more of that. We can put a lot more. Now you actually got into something I wanted to ask you about. So if you go in front of the skull, his hair blends into the black of that background. And I was like, maybe what we need to do is put like a white
Some kind of
thing around his hair so that you can kind of see it when he's in front of black.
yeah, when he's in front of black things, I can see that.
I mean, that shouldn't be a hard thing to do.
No.
So I was trying to use sounds
Okay.
on this one. So when you
Yeah.
hear the like little like,
It's like you're like, no, you can't go there.
Yeah.
Right? Like man, like bad. That's good.
I liked how he kind of went back and forth. I don't know. I worked
Yeah.
on that a little bit. So
Okay, I gotta get my loadout here going.
yeah, how'd you like that? Did you notice in the bottom right it shows the bat?
Oh, nice. No, I didn't notice that. That is good.
And so he's a little laggy right now, and that's because of the AI of the. And I made it like when you hit things,
Yeah.
you could actually get that. Don't you? Oh, see, it doesn't kill you on that one. What the heck? That one is totally supposed to kill you.
Yay, I got a torn page.
I love that this is an original picture from the freaking thing.
From episode 0.
Hell yeah. See, okay, you did have a heart that came off. So what it is there's a hit box. And so if you get outside of the hit box, you actually will not get hurt. And if you get in
Like-
the hit box, see, it
Like
did hit
one.
you.
But then like it also pushes me up.
It still has a bounce, but if there's like a sweet spot. Oh, see.
And it hit me there, but I was able to do it.
Oh God, you're gonna die.
Yeah, well.
That's good.
Okay.
But I like the little pops in there. Like I didn't want to maybe they could be used as a jump if you wanted to like try to get something,
Right.
but it wouldn't be mandatory. I
Right.
kind of thought it would be cool. Like they could just hurt you, so you
or
gotta
or
run.
extra lore or things like
Yeah.
that, right? Like if you wanted to get to like a
Yes.
secret spot and it had some kind of like
good
secret
idea.
thing, then you could use that, but it's not critical path, right? So then like how am I going to get up here?
So here's my question. I wanted to hear this. Because you didn't know. You knew the key was here probably from the prior versions of it. Were you like, how the hell do I get this? Did you go left at the very beginning? Did you find that other room?
I think I was like, yeah, I think I just was like running around and found it. It was like, well, I need to go in every door. And I was definitely like, oh, I thought there was an explodey thing here, you know, like where I would do the same thing and get the key.
Yeah.
And so I was like, there must be something going on here, but I knew I couldn't like do it yet. And then I was like, okay, well, that's the end. So then now I got to go back. And I like the fact that you could sort of jump on everything. It just like makes it sort of interesting where you're like, yeah, when I'm jumping around, like it'll be fun if I can try to like make this jump, right?
And that's where I thought like lore would be really fun. Like if you just happen to, like if you run through it initially, you could get it or not get to certain areas. But then if you got some of the power ups, you go back through and now you can get, like we talked about this.
Yeah.
That once you get that power up, like a little dash, you could get to that other area. So that's a something like you almost have to back from the door and then go into it. I'm trying to figure out some of
Well,
the...
because you have to be on the top layer to go through the door, I think, as opposed to
it's
the
probably,
bottom
yeah,
layer.
I think you're right.
Is he still the same thing? Okay.
And so the other thing too, as we talk about, you can totally add multiple dialogues. We just have to program it in. I just didn't do it yet because it took a long time to get to this level.
I was like trying to get this.
Oh.
That, and I don't think you can.
No, that's just, you put that in there, I think.
Yeah.
It's just
Because that was my original one, is like you were going to like push this over or do something so that you could be like...
No. Uh-oh.
Got
Yeah.
you.
Do you like my rat?
Yeah.
You like my little rat?
He's fun. And then it's just upside down version of him.
That is Adam's cheap way of trying to figure out how to put a rat in there. He's so cute. I'm terrible at art. You need to fix the rat. All right, this was a hard jump.
Okay, this is the jump.
Oh, you good
Got it.
job.
Because you got to time like when you actually do the double.
Hilariously, when I first built that part, I put it a little closer, and then I was like, you can't get to it. And then I was like, no, I gotta try. And I spent like 30 minutes, and then I got it once. I was like, holy shit,
You can't
glitch
get
in
it.
the game. So then I had to put it like 2 more tiles away. I was like, you have to be definitively away.
So then I had put it over here
Oh,
on
okay.
this one,
Oh,
so that
that's
you
cool.
then also had to make that jump down into it, which I thought was like...
That's a great. Well, and that's what I was trying to show you, and
Yeah.
and I love that you have to spend all that time, because I don't want it to be this easy to get to the double jump and the full like
Right.
version of it. Like that's got to be later. But one thing I was going to ask you, and this was another great, should you only be able to do one of those at once, or should you be able to put them together? Like if you went to the loadout screen, could you say like, I want the bat and I want the double jump, or the dash or something like that?
So you're saying like, oh, I would go to loadout and I would pick double jump?
Like I would
As
say,
opposed to-
no, you would pick that and then imagine another line below it that had like
so it's like
double jump.
so it's like
or-
weapons versus abilities or something.
weapons
right?
and abilities. You
Yeah,
pick
and so
one
you-
weapon
of each,
and one
of
ability.
each. I could see that.
And-
But the only problem is if you do something like that, then people are going to expect that like, oh, I got to pair the golf or the bat with the double jump, and I got to pair the beer explosion with the something.
We should. And why
And-
wouldn't we be able to do that?
and have things like that. I guess do we care that it's like yeah. I
So-
only have half a heart left.
The funny thing, that was a special moment where, did you notice something about that level, by the way?
This one?
Yeah. Oh God, don't die when you go back in there, my friend. What is different?
Yeah, this like a little ramp.
It's a freaking slope.
Yeah. Was that I
That's-
was wondering
that's
if that
new.
was a new thing.
So it's a part of the plugin for the thing, and we
You
had to
can't go
use slope.
down, like you can't go
You can't go through
down.
slopes.
And then,
Okay.
like you sort of jump off Like it's almost like a ledge, right?
But
But if you just run this way, you stay on the ledge.
Yeah.
So you sort of have to like jump down.
So
to
what?
go past
But that
it.
see how you're down like that just happened to be a happy accident that you can like run behind it, but then if you're there, it runs up it.
Yeah.
Like it just that was not programmed. That was just happened to work like that. I think
Yeah.
that's sweet. So we could
Totally.
put things in the back. I was like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
That's a fun
Because you
little-
could like hide things in the back, right?
Yeah.
It didn't look like it was supposed to be, and you just be like, oh, whatever, I'm running past it. But if you happen to be on this level, you would run up it.
You would
like,
run up it.
I think that's cool.
But
idea.
one thing, and I don't know if you can see it that much here, but if you were like 1 pixel down, like your feet kind of go into things. So if you step on any ledge, notice. I was like, thank God you killed that rat. You about to die, boy. No, so if you should technically, if you're in this level where you're staying right now, is that black line of his feet underneath should be on top of that green line. And there was a way that I made him go like just a tad bit of depth into things.
Sure. Yeah. Like, well, I feel like it seems like you're on top of it, right? Then
Yeah.
it like if it's in front of or if it's in back of his feet.
Yeah, it looks like you're on top of it. Actually,
Yeah.
it's a cooler kind of effect. And so to answer your question, Mike, as well, yes, you can to the floor level to allow you to move up and down to different levels of the floor. Yes, you could do that. It has 2 degrees. It's 45 degrees, and I can't remember what the other degree is.
What was that like crash?
Oh, because there was the bottles on the bar.
Oh. I like different people having different little noises. Like I want hers to be like, and then like when you talk to him, it's like, or something.
We should totally do that. That's the fun thing about it. We gotta figure out how to make those noises.
Okay, back up to get the key. Da, 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 da.
Nope.
Isn't this the key?
Nope. That's the paper.
Oh, then I'm gonna get killed by that ghost. Let's not do that.
I like that you can die. That was one of the things too.
You still got to jump this one because it hits the ceiling.
Yeah, you have to do the double jump. You jump and then you like have to hit it at the right moment. And so that was the only one that uses the tile swapping as well. So
Oh no, wait, not load out. No, not settings. Inventory.
you got all the stuff.
Key of entry.
And that was I spent a lot of time making sure like all of this was
Yeah.
there, so you actually.
And how are we thinking about doing this? That like these just stay here, and then we just fill up a whole big like thing
Okay,
of them. I'd be okay with
I'm
that.
so glad you asked this, because this is what I was going to ask you. I didn't even think about asking you this. I was thinking like if we had 5 levels, you could either use the rows or the columns, and so every row you had to get like a
There's,
key,
like, right,
or
and you knew that 5 things were
and
happening.
there were
in
5
there.
like there was maybe like a document and then
Yeah.
like an update and a weapon, and
Totally.
so every one you
I
had
could see
one of
that.
those,
I could see that.
and so like
Because that might keep it simpler, right?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like, wouldn't you want to, like, use the key on the thing, right? And then it would go away from your inventory, and then that slot could get filled up with other things. But that might be just too complicated, right? You're
Yeah.
like, you get 5 things per level, and you know that you're basically done with the level when you have 4 out of 5 of them
Yep.
done. I can see that. You play for a minute while I use the restroom.
oh
I'll be
god,
right
you got
back.
to end the game.
No. Oh, okay.
You're almost
Oh,
there.
I'm almost there. All
Ryan's
right.
got to
All
finish the
right,
thing.
all right.
And so that was another thing, is like I thought if you got that thing, you might want to go to the story
Yeah.
moments or whatnot.
Totally. Oh, I think you should have all of that stuff. Okay. Here we go.
I think it's really, like I said, it's about the story and the fun. I love the double jump though. There's a part that you can't get up to. Yeah. It's like the straight up and down double jump is not as good as the left to right
Yeah.
double jump.
Okay. I do.
Yeah, we won the game.
Yay.
I love it.
So good. Great job, dude. It's like amazing. It plays so much. It plays great. Like the little double jump is fun. Like the dash is fun, especially on this. I can't do it all on the computer,
Yeah,
but that
it's
just could
tough.
be me. But like, I feel like playing it like that, like we could make some fun levels with those like basics. Okay, talk about it.
All right, I will talk about it. So Ryan won't know about this, but wait, hold on. Did I even program? Oh yeah, you have loadout in this screen too. starts all the way over. All right, let's beat this ghost. I don't think I can die in this part. Actually, what we could show is, let's show what happens when you actually die in the game, because I think that would be fun. So you've got little rat. Oh, he's hitting you. Mike Azul, did you play the game? Did you beat it? Or did you die like this? Game over. I thought putting an actual ability to die in it. Thanks for playing the game, Mike Azul. We appreciate your support on this. It's been fun to build it to this point. I really feel like we have a good version of it now. One of the things I had to do was figure out a way to build a reset, and I think if you game over and you die, let's see here. There was something that like gets stuck. Let me see if you can still get hit by him. Okay, I fixed it. There was a point where like if you died once and then you came back, little rat guy would not be able to hurt you anymore. But I fixed it. It's because you have to reset the variable that he can hurt you. So Rhino was saying one of the things about the game itself is that from this screen, one of the things is at the very bottom of this level, and we're going to stop playing for a second, but when you jump right through this, it hits this hitbox at the very bottom, and that hitbox has to run a script that says reset all of these parameters in the entire game so that you can actually reset the game to the point where it starts from fresh.
Oh,
because one of the things that was happening is when you would die and you'd go back in the world, the rat wouldn't hurt you. And it was because I forgot to toggle his like ability to hurt you back on, and he still would run around. And God, that freaking rat was.
I was a little fan of the rat.
Heck yeah,
Totally.
that rat was. If you watch the show, I did a workbench and I tried to make a piece of pizza once on the show, real time, and it was like a terrible experience. I couldn't get the stupid pizza to work out.
Nice.
So the rat. I did not do any chat GPTing with the rat, but I did look at a bunch of like pixelated raps from like chat GPT online Game Boy games that have made like similar versions of things. And what's two things?
Killing rats. That feels like classic to games.
Two
right?
things that I was like, yeah, 100%. I was like, number one are hearts. The hearts that I thought were original, people have made the exact hearts in the game.
Right.
And
there's
then
only so many ways you could put like that many pickles together.
The same thing happened with the rat. Is I was like, well, to make it look like a rat, you obviously need some ears and a little tail.
Right, yeah,
and so I
exactly.
started doing it, and there are a couple rats that look exactly like that rat. And I'm like,
Nice.
son of a.
Because there's nothing new in the world, Adam. It's just how you put it together.
You have 8 pixels, but well, it's a 16 by 16 pixel rat, and it's like how many ways that you build something in that world. That's why
Totally.
all the Game Boy little characters that fit in that kind of a grid kind of look the same.
Yeah.
And so that's my only disappointment is that you can't get to that granularity of looking sweet, but
Right.
I feel like I want the rat on a shirt.
Totally.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be
Skullbob's
sweet.
rat.
Skullbob's rat.
All right. So as far as like, was there any questions or any thoughts on like how I built anything or questions? Because I think one of the things I wanted to show you is let's go into the world itself. We gotta go.
Well, like say I wanted to build out the jumpiness in the vertical section, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Maybe. Well, I know you wanted to do some promotional items too.
Well, I
and
think we
only
should.
have an hour.
Yeah. So I didn't want to spend too much time in here because you got to see a lot of the
Right.
different components. But what I wanted to just quickly go over is the amount of like little tiny elements of programming. So for her, so you go to D, and at first you have this interact button. So it's basically you're saying you have to, if you held this button, there's a cat meow sound that I found. So
Nice. A little Mew.
that's why I thought it was really kind of cool. And then it kicks off that. But then there's an on update script, and this is what makes D walk. So I'm essentially like, I had to say like, when she hits this point, like go and walk back to this other point. And then it's way more complicated than you can't just be like, hey, go walk here and walk here. You're basically
Right.
saying like, hey, there's a variable. Set the variable to 1. And when you hit 1 and you hit here, turn it back to 0. And then walk over to this other side.
Yeah.
So it's there's a lot of extra stuff that you got to put in there. And then they had to put another script that I call that makes her do some other kind of collisions and walking around. So I just am trying to, behind the scenes, make it as easy as possible to create some of these environments.
Yeah.
Dee is locked in now. She's back and forth. We can add a bunch of different events and stuff. I didn't put any scripts on him. I wanted him to have his walk cycle in before I started programming on him.
Well, so here's one of the things. Like, I want, if we're making this the real game, like, I want him passed out at the bar at the beginning of this. Like, his whole thing at this point is now hanging out in the bar. That is his thing.
Sure.
But, like, I would love if this was, like, a tourist,
totally
wandering around like that, right? I think one of the things that I had a question about is you had talked about before, like this new version, and maybe that there was like more pixels we could get for certain things. And like, I guess I still don't know, like, can I just make a whole bunch of characters? Can I just make this background as complicated as I want? Like, I feel like there was some ambiguity about that.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. So one of the areas, if I go into this and I go to the settings, they have this thing that's called color only mode. It says increases the amount of tiles available in each scene for displaying backgrounds and sprites.
Okay.
So once you commit to this and you go to that, it's essentially saying you can only make Game Boy Color games.
Yeah.
And so look,
I'm fine with.
Yeah, and I'm fine with this. So GB Color and Analog Pocket games. That's all you can build with it from going forward. So what I noticed is this used to be 96. This 192.
Oh.
And
right.
so what this is saying, this is how many tiles can go into the characters that are in the map. So essentially, let me back off of that. It's this is considered a character because it has that little purple on it. It's a sprite.
Sure.
So the HUD is a sprite. This guy is a sprite. So in this scene right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't know if I have any more. Yeah. So there's 4 sprites, but in those sprites, we have 58 tiles.
Yeah.
And so what that means is if I go to the sprites right here,
does that include Roby?
And Roby, yes, it includes Roby is in there as well. So
and all of his little like running and jumping and doing
it's whatever his whatever the highest sprite version of him is. So for instance, the basic Roby, which is I think Roby default A. Don't worry about having a default in dash A. I had to change something here. Let me just show you something because I feel like this is a good moment to talk about it since it's there. So see how Roby is all crammed together right here? Mm-hmm. Was working great. I can just take those little pieces because they were perfectly fit in the sprite things. And so this is where you were like dogging on me a little bit about logic and why I was being super particular, but there's a reason for it. So see how he's spread out now? Mm-hmm. The reason I had to do that is when you switch between these like things, sometimes if you were like really close together, it would like pull in some of the pixels from some of these other ones that were around it, and so it looked like crap. Sure. And I was like, the only way I could figure out how to make that work is I made like a box, and I'm like, it was actually this size, so 6x6. So he has a 6x6 box, and he's like crammed right in the middle of that box. So when I go into A Sprite, I have this little grid to know, like, here's your little box that you make your character in.
And basically, he can be like any wildness inside of that 6x6.
And box. He can do that. Now, if you're using more tiles, that of course it goes against our limit.
Sure.
But what I was finding is that actually helped me to ensure that he wasn't doing that. So like I did it with everything. So there was a cricket bat after, and this is the cricket bat before. So I wanted to show you that because as you start making new characters, as long as you do this, what I was solving was a true issue is he would go to the bat and then we'd swing it. What I was seeing is like, you'd see him swinging it like here, but then this like part of the bat would be in front of it and it just looked bad. And I was like, totally. I don't know how to make that fixed other than the spread.
Well, and I mean, to me, I don't care, right? Like I'm gonna create these little animations, and we can spread them out or shove them together as much as we want.
So, anyways, that was one thing. But the idea is, if I go to like the 6-pack that I had here, I made it pretty small. So there's like basically it's just the back and forth between the two colors. But there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sprites that make the entirety of that.
Yeah.
And then so there's the 8 plus the Roby default, which was 30. So there's the 38, and then you have, what else was in that scene? Oh, the hearts, your health. So if I go into my health, then you got, and thankfully I only have one, so 38, 39, and then you go to our other dude.
But then like chug, like, so if you know he's never going to chug anything in that scene, does it not have chug Roby? Or
It doesn't
does
have
Roby
chug.
have to have be in everything?
I love that question. What it is in the scene, I've only loaded default A. When I hit the button, it swaps it to whatever other one. So if it were to go to chug is 29. So it would say, yeah, you're at 29, but then it forgets the 22. It still goes up a little bit. So you could have a situation, let's say you went into a scene, and this was registering at 192, and we're like, we got it, we're in.
But then we had a chug, and you're like, that takes extra.
In the chug, I'm trying to say, like, let's say his default walking around was 22. And you run the scene, everything's great, he's walking around. But the second he hits the chug, it's like 29. And so when he's walking around at 192 is great.
Now it's 194.
But it swapped it, and then it goes up to that, and then it crashes the game.
Right.
So there is a little bit
But you would sort
overhead.
of know that, right? You would be like, I know in this scene he's never going to chug because we're
Right.
not giving him anything to chug, right? But he might hold up the key or whatever. Like,
And there's a way that I can, and I'm working on a HUD to where we don't have to use sprites, and so I could use a different method. And so as if I can nail that down, we might be in an okay place to not even worry about that, because then or at least we'll be able to subtract
Not
the
have
HUD
that, yeah.
piece. Because here's the other thing: this piece of the HUD, if that's your weapons, and so it's like, okay, well we need a weapon collectibles thing. So there was pizza, but collectible. Is that the items? What did I call them? Oh, it was Roby items. So if he holds a bat, and you want to see that you're holding the bat, I was like, so there's the little tiny bat.
yeah.
And so we need to think, like, is he has a little pistol, or I don't know, whatever
Right.
those other
And
things are.
next to it, is it the little bat and the little double jump icon, right? Because you have like those two are the things that you've chosen.
And so I'm gonna work on the HUD. That's something I want to talk to Mike Azul about, because I think he might have some programming insight on how to help with that. If he's even up to it. I don't want to push you towards that as well. If you ever wondered, by the way, I'm going to call it out, and I may have said this before. See this little pixel right here?
Yeah.
That was the first
That ugly little pixel, little mold growing in the corner.
that was the first pixel generated from that GPT thing that I
nice.
did when it actually worked. So I was
Nice.
like, how cool is that to put that
Yeah,
into the game? It was a little
totally.
Easter egg.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyways, generally, I just wanted to say, like, I got it tuned in where I'm feeling pretty good that we can go in and keep adapting it now. So I think you got it, is that if this is the game, we just got to keep layering and saying, okay, the next step is let's make D like actually have a conversation now.
Right.
So
Let's put a cutscene at the beginning.
Correct.
Or let's like,
Yeah.
have Roby, when he hits something and he does that, it pauses and does this. Like all of those little things will be extra, but then also building the little level around it, right? So like, let's say we love that the loan with the ramp going up, or we know that we love at least like the jumping puzzle that entails. Like, now we got to build a background around it and that kind of stuff.
thank you. That is exactly what we need to do. Now, one thing that I do want to show that I think is possibly a game changer for us in this thing, or at least maybe even for me, because I'm just not that great of a developer. I feel like I've taken it pretty decently,
totally.
to be completely honest, but I still feel like there's a lot going on. Check this out, dude. This is so awesome. It has a debugger in it. So if I go into the debugger, what will happen here is while you play the game, let's see if I can get this to work. It will
This is not connected.
all right, I have to rebuild it. Hold on a second. It's because it's rebuilding it. So will you play the game, you can toggle values and variables in the game. So like, let's say you're dying. Okay, so this is so good. This is amazing. So first of all, it's saying in this screen right now, here are all of the tiles that creates this screen.
Right.
Here's all the variables that I set up in the initial scene. So when it triggers all these things, like health is at 6, enemies, all this other stuff. So watch what happens as I start to play. So if I get into this next scene, it kicks it over to here. It says,
Yeah.
here's all the pixels in it. And so let's just get hit with something. So watch this. So I don't know if you
Now you're
noticed
5.
it's down to 5. But what I could do is I could go put it back up and watch what those hearts do. Put it back up.
You're like, whatever. I'm testing this shit.
Yeah, so you could test your
Right.
stuff and adjust variables on the fly. So I was
You're like,
so
put the 6-pack back to 0 or 1.
so like you have so in this screen you got the rat. So there's the rat and he's at 2. So if I go to oh man, how do I kill the rat? I think he's yeah, I'm about to die. Okay, so then it kicks over to the screen and you see like you're at 0 and all these other little things are there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just thought that was really cool that in real time you can start to seeing every
Well,
pixel, everything that's going on in the game.
Well, I feel like what that does is like if something is breaking, especially too, right? You're like,
Yeah.
what is going on that is making this happen?
And so what I was going to say is that I think that's going to just help me understand like what the hell is actually this
Yeah.
code doing so that I
Right.
can adjust it as we go along. So I put it out to you so you could look at
Cool.
it. You can see what pixels are being used in scenes and things like that. All right, here's where I'd like to pivot if you're good, unless there's anything
Nope.
else you want to talk about here. This is the reality that we live in when we get to itch. And this is probably the biggest place that I would love to like get your professional experience to figure out. So if you were to come to our Double Drop Down channel on Twitch or on Itch, they would be like Skull Bob's Adventure, and they get this terrible version of this picture of an earlier version of our game. Like it's
Sure.
cool, but like the colors we were testing it out.
Right.
And so you're like, okay, that looks bad. And then you click into it, and this is what people see of Skull Bob's.
Sure.
And so I'm just like, God, there's so much we could do on that piece of it. The only other area that I would want to put some stuff is if you go back into our Discord. And so we go into our Discord, they have these works in progress forum. And you'll notice on the right-hand side that everyone has like
This is GB Studios.
GB Studio Discord. It has all of the people's stuff that they're making. So if you're like,
Right.
oh, how's
How's Kiro Cowboy doing?
and it's a cool little GIF, and like some of them aren't great, but some of them actually are pretty cool. This guy's a little animated dude.
Sure.
But I just wanted to say like, let's get some continuity between those environments. I don't care. I'm not trying to like sell it, but I just
Sure.
want it enough that we can say, okay, yes, this is the
You
game.
have a legit thing.
And so
Okay, do you want to build one right now?
yeah, I was gonna say. So here's what we have to build. Is you have a banner image, which is up at the top here.
Okay.
We have a background image that could repeat or whatever we would want to
Sure.
do there, and then you have the embed. So
Yeah. And
so
that's kind of set. Right?
it could no, we can embed. No, you get to pick an image,
Oh, an
and then
image
it
for that.
shows what's there. So this is basic. There's all these other things you can do with that, and I figured. I don't know where to start. I don't know if you had an idea. Like, it would be cool to come up with like a banner. I like the idea of having a Game Boy cover
Yeah.
of what we would do.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe, but you just like, I mean, that's what's nice about Dolly doing it, right? Is like then you can be like, okay, make it widescreen, but a Game Boy Color. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
care. Like it'll make whatever.
and when I did go to ChatGPT, which we'll go to just in a second here, and oh man, I'm gonna have to figure out. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go and figure out where my Game Boy.
Right, where you were getting it looking Game Boy cover like.
Which I don't know. It felt like it was oh, I did do one. It was terrible. It was terrible. I made some really, really bad ones. Let me go. Nobody saw that.
Game Boy Square.
All right, this is the one we're gonna use from right now. Okay.
Game Boy.
So I was taking your advice. You're like, you didn't like the kid one, and I get it. And so I was like, all right, what versions of it? This damn thing was POing me. It would not build like guys with Cyclops eyes. Well, now
Right,
some
yeah,
of them
it
are actually
doesn't.
showing up, but this one,
It always tries to like put it in the forehead or something. I've noticed that. That one is like not bad.
This is my like the best one I could ever get out of it, and I had to
Yeah.
edit it and do some other things. But I figured, like, what would be a prompt that we would want to use?
Can we
for
just
that?
build off of this one?
I kept trying, man. That is like
It really
like, hold on a second. I'm just gonna search. I don't like showing off my. I don't know.
No, that's like your web browser.
Yeah.
Stuff. Here.
I mean, it's not bad ones, but it's just I just don't like doxing myself.
Yeah.
Like this one was funny. Like I gotta show you this one. Okay, look at this. I was so mad at the end. Like I put in like a
throw up face.
I apologize for not meeting your. I understand this has been frustrating.
It knew that you were like, fuck this.
It might be best to consult a professional designer who can
Nice.
directly work with your art to create
Nice.
it. Okay, so let me just show you.
It's like, I don't know, sir.
So, hilariously, this was the first image that I ever got.
Wow.
And this was my prompt. It was quite the prompt.
Yeah.
So I went with that. And so I was like, okay, this actually nailed in what I thought would
Yeah.
do. That's what came me with the idea in Roby's Adventure. I was like, all right, well, I love the green glow and some
Right.
weird kind of
Mystery,
thing.
like
So,
stuff. It
cool.
never got back to that.
And then it gets like, I was like, oh, that's not as dramatic and as cool. And then I was like, all right, go back to this one.
Yeah.
And you'll notice it looks like a weird face. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, that's kind of bad. And then I was like, make him older. Because that was what we were saying.
Yeah.
It was like, you're like, and I was like, okay, I get you. We'll try to make an older version of him. I don't know. Like bad.
Yeah.
He just like,
No, not
man.
cool enough.
And so then as I start,
Like, I wonder if this is more of a Photoshop, like where you would take the one that you really liked and just like circle him and be like, only redo this part over and over again.
That is okay. So that's what I did. So first of all, here's the 20 version. So I took
20
him.
freaking versions.
I took him there, changed him because that's what I did. I was like, I highlighted him and said, do this one. And then I was like, all right, change this. No candle. So first of all, he had a candle. And I was like, he's burning his dick off.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Or he
let's-
looks like Jack B. Nimble.
Yeah. So I slowly, one at a time, I took that off. And then like, it tried to put another eye on there. I was
yeah.
like, no, bad.
I almost think what you're going to have to do is like take the pieces that you like and sort of recreate this almost.
I thought the same thing. It put this weird little like hair thing.
yeah.
I finally got it out, and then it looked like
Okay.
a weird eyeball, and I was like, no, like a green glow. I was like, yes, you got
Yeah.
the thing. Like this is the closest I got it. And then I kept going, and I can't even remember what I changed here. Oh, Game Boy. I was trying to say actually Game Boy. I knew I know we can cut that out and do that.
Right,
That was
sure.
easy. But I was like, Game Boy cover, come on. And then the clock was there. So I took the clock out, and then it put a big old whatever that is on there. Look at
Analog clock 420. Nice.
I was trying to get that, but then I was like, no.
Not happening.
Look
Not
how many
those
times I
specifics,
freaking
yeah.
had to run through
Look at
this
his little mustache they drew on him.
beard and mustache.
Man.
Oh, I was trying to make it look.
It looks like he drew that on himself.
Oh, I know. And then when it gets down to here, I was trying to make him like 5 o'clock shadow. And I was like, what? He's just
Just
smiling.
nothing.
This
Yeah,
is
it
terrible.
doesn't, yeah.
I was like, and it would not put a beard on him.
Hmm.
No matter what I did, hipster beard, like finally got a little.
Finally, little like goatee.
That was the closest I could get him to like looking a little older. Blonde goatee, nope, won't do it. 20-year-old man,
God, he does not look like that.
that one was closer, but he just looked like a hobbit or something like
Yeah.
that. Didn't like it. That one,
He's like Slytherin.
he just didn't have that like these eyes of determination. That face, he like nailed it in this one. Oh man, I was loving that one.
Is there enough of this to be like, not being able to remove beards? Interesting. Is there anything that we could like upload the pixel version of Roby and be like, what is an adult version of this?
So I'm pretty sure we could, and I think that's it. I really tried it a bunch of different ways, and so here's where I went off the rails. So you can see a bunch of different versions.
Right.
So he does look older, kind of in the
Yeah.
realm, and the skull. It just looked a little cheesier there. And then he got even more. It looked like Double Dragon or something
Yeah,
with that.
totally.
And they can't get the damn Cyclops.
No.
I could not get the Cyclops to come back.
No, it's bad about
Just
that.
one thing is I got it once, and I was like, perfect. That is exactly the one, and I lost it.
What?
It just disappeared. It was. I was so pissed, and so then it just keeps going. Like it kept getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
And at the end, I don't even remember what I did here. Oh, I like uploaded a thing. You see, I see
Okay.
it uploaded a design, and it didn't work well.
Mm.
And you know, by the end, like that one felt like a what was those the boys, the books from back in the day, the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, right.
It
I was
was
gonna say like Goonies almost like style.
Then it started looking like Duke
Oh,
Nukem.
man, yeah, no, that's like
And then it's like Alien Cyclops School. We got it right.
Nice.
We put it on your thing for you.
amazing.
And then I went back to this one like, fine.
It'd be
go
like if you had the intern. You'd be like, "What intern? You just wrote it on the vial?"
oh my
man,
God.
look at that one.
He's like I love my little
He's like, yeah.
a skeleton next to me with the
Skeleton
cricket
friend.
bat. This one was getting kind of like, I was like, I kind of like it, but it's still just like, it never got the vibe of the original one.
We got to just go off the original one, right?
I know. Well, like, and then that's what I was saying. I was like, I nailed it on the first one. That was
the very first one.
That was a good one. But so the other side is like, let's just start anew. And
with
what,
that same one, with this same prompt that you started with, because I know sometimes I just have to start over because I'm like, it has too much memory of what I was trying to ask it for, and it's picking the wrong things out of it, and I just have to be like, just redo this, and then.
But if I did that, and I have done this, it does not get anything like that. It's cool. Like, it just got that one little juju.
Well, then, like, what do we want to? Oh, we should.
I mean, I'm just gonna kick it off. We always can
to-
do another one just to see. Like,
Sure.
let's roll the dice on it and see what we come up with.
It does.
And maybe what we do today is, if you want to like design some stuff, because we got 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, and I kind of want to play Drawful.
Oh yeah.
He looks like too studious.
It's a Harry Potter version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like Hufflepuff. This is a.
But see how that first one nailed it. It was just weird, and everything else after it. And this is exactly the
It got
same
Game
prompt.
Boy a little bit better on the side.
Yeah, it kind of did.
I mean, it's
It
got
did
two
nail it.
A's there, but
So maybe what I'm asking, Ryan, is I wanted to show you this, and that way we could pivot to Drawful.
Can you put that prompt in the Discord or something so that I can use that?
Yeah,
if we
absolutely.
wanted to-
So the takeaway today is maybe I can just say here are some components. Like if we got the one square thing done, and as a side note, if we could get something that we're cool with like soon, so I could send it off to make stickers out of it, I'm gonna put it on the back of those things that I made for Kylia.
Oh.
So when she gives them out, we're just saying like, hey, made by Skull Bobs or whatever, or not made by Skull Bobs,
Sure.
made by Double Drop Down.
Right.
And then we'd
check
be
out
like,
check out our new game.
check out the new game. I just thought it'd be like, it's a promotional activity.
Totally.
I printed it on the thing. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to go through. And
Okay.
I purposely did not put it through until I talked to you. I was like, I got to talk to Ryan. I got to
Nice.
get his 2
All
cents
right.
as our director of
when would you
creative
need it? When would you need it by?
I don't know how fast like Sticker Mule or something turns something
Right.
around.
I just did a bunch of stuff with Sticker Mule. It's like a week.
So she has to have those, and she's flying out. I think July like 16th. I
Okay.
have to give it to her by then. So if
Sure.
I had like at least a couple days, you can make something. And I
Yeah.
even thought you could put the double drop down logo and just make it super simple. But
Sure.
I was like, I kind of want, if I could get, and this is what I thought. This is a game. I have a Game Boy sticker from one of the Chinese games that we made. Like that's like the perfect size. And if it said like double drop down right there or something like
right.
that. And so if we had this little tiny Game Boy like label size sticker, that would be perfect. There's
Yeah.
squares, and like it has the Game Boy feel.
Yeah. And you know what I did at Sticker Mule was like they allow you to do. I gave you some of these. It's like a sticker sheet.
Oh.
And then they will die cut each of the things out because you can't get a sticker. It's like all the stickers are 1-inch circles, right? Or 1-inch
Yeah.
squares. So if you wanted exactly a very specific size, which we had to do for our network leader stuff, I had to lay it all out like that. But you could do that. You could do like a bunch of different ones, right? And just have like every sticker sheet has 10 of them on it.
No, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and so that's what I'm getting. And so then you take that, and that can be kind of like, here's our marketing label cover of
Yeah.
the device. And then everything else from this point forward is I like the pixel art. That's clearly what you're getting in the game.
Yeah.
But let's make this like
Oh well, and that is
sweet
classic.
and
That is
realistic.
classic. That is classic Game Boy like bait and switch, right?
Yeah.
Like just show this awesome, hand drawn thing on the cover, and then switch over to the pixel art.
Well, but it's also kind of like the lore of it. We have like a cool video that we
Yeah.
had before and all the different things. And so I loved that first one. I understand he's too young, but I just like the vibe of that. So if we can,
I just wonder, like, I wonder if going into Photoshop and doing it, like, where you could select him
Oh, yeah.
and be like,
But-
him. I wonder what Photoshop's AI would do, right?
but if
As
you
opposed to
know that
DALL-E.
like you've used the selector on here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, like, I don't know. I feel like I don't like the selector on this one.
So what? Because it doesn't do great stuff, or
Or
what?
just, like you're seeing, it doesn't change it enough. Like, or it doesn't
yeah. So this was the
like,
one.
follow instructions.
Oh, that was blonde goatee. We didn't want that one. Because it kind of discolored his face a little bit. I think it was like the determined one, not the bearded one. Let's see here. Game Boy. Okay, so this is probably one of the better ones. So if you click on this, if you're curious what Ryan and I are talking about, and I haven't done it on here. You click on this select button, and then you can start selecting what part
Yeah.
you want to edit out of it. So like, what would you select? Do you want to do that? Like, what would you?
Okay.
And you can adjust the selector on the upper left. I noticed that if you're curious,
They
like how
want it, like,
big it is.
smaller.
Yeah.
I guess I should be looking at this one. Yeah, right. I don't know. I mean, probably he's going to be slightly taller.
That's probably what I didn't do.
And we want to get him.
There's like no eraser on this too. That's the worst part.
And can I even let go?
Yeah, you can let go and you can redo another part of it.
You know what? I haven't used this very much.
Oh, really?
No. I used it in Midjourney.
And it's the same thing. You basically select what you want, and then you
And I use it in Photoshop as well.
might. Do you want to like take a little bit of that background? Select some of that too.
Oh.
Yeah, it's some of the reason why you got to get a new computer. I did like the crazy thing was it put on the backpack like we always wanted.
Yeah,
It put
yeah.
all the things there. I was like, oh my god, how does it know this? You know what else I did though is you know how I got the prompt in there is I talked the prompt. I didn't write it.
Oh. It rewrites all your prompts anyway, right?
Does it when you talk it? So then I think what you do is
anything.
how do you do the next step? Oh, select an area to edit, and I guess you just prompt it then,
And then,
right? And hit enter.
Okay. So what do we want to say about him that you haven't said before, right? Like, do we need to change it drastically? Like, what if
Yeah.
what if we said like middle-aged man? Like, would it help like make him just older and like look slightly more?
I'm trying to figure out how do you get. Okay, is that? Do you just prompt it there then? Oh, edit selection. Okay, so you do put it here. So yeah, what would you put?
I mean, like, yeah. Are we basically describing our character?
I think so.
So do like, but let's make him older so that it like gets it, you know? Because I feel like sometimes you put 40s, right, or something. So do like 35-year-old male, black hair, slacker, barkeep, with a cricket bat over his shoulder, grungy, disheveled, ready for adventure. I don't know.
It's pretty. I don't know how to spell disheveled. Is that right? Grungy, disheveled. Okay, I got it. Disheveled, ready for adventure. With
I think it's Chev, like the V and the L, or
oh, there you go. You just misspelled it.
Cheveled. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know.
Let's give it a go. I mean, just to give it a try,
Just
right?
to try, right? Like, this is always.
Do I have to push a button?
Is it doing it? Is it frozen?
Oh, there it
Oh
goes.
no, it's just.
Yeah, so it took that selection. Should be doing this. It's taking its sweet time.
Of course. We should have said something about body type and things, or like what he was wearing.
So what I could do is, oh man, yeah, because I started the prompt, so there's not like a version of that prompt. But you know what I was thinking? What if we just cut that guy out? Because the outside of it, everything else is great, and then just try to find like a really good version of the guy, and you just use Photoshop
and just slap it on top of
it
him?
on there, and like try to blend it in really well.
Yeah, well, like if we could get it to render a good like version of like where you put in you say like, hey, look at these versions of and it's all the sprite work, and you're like, make a cartoon version of this.
Sure.
And then you could get something.
I don't know what it's doing. It seemingly doesn't want to do the thing right now.
Is it not even like running?
It's funny. It did all. It did. There we go.
Oh, and then you just refreshed it.
It did, thinking it was out. It should have done it though. Should have saved it. Yeah. See, Deshelled, ready for adventure.
Okay. Well, we're on stream too, so we can always look back.
I don't think we saw it.
Oh no, I meant like what the prompt was at least.
Yeah, it's 2 of 2, so there might be another version. We'll let this. Sometimes it like completely just dies though. Like the first one, it's like, nope, we screwed it up.
Or like, yeah, I couldn't do it.
I've noticed that it gets slower at certain times of day though, because usually it's like right on there because they're either like doing maintenance on it.
No, I think it's just people are using it, right?
You don't like to mind the candle getting toasty buns. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's like, here it is. It is a sweet circle with the mountains in it. Man, that is the slowest I've seen it do. Remember when we used to do the drum roll and AI used to be a thing?
It was like a whole.
It felt so special at that point.
It did.
All right. Well, if it doesn't roll, because I would expect it to be there right now. I'm gonna just go to the first one. See, it didn't give anything on the first one.
Redo it.
That's the one I did.
Okay.
I don't know. It's being really, really wonky tonight. So if it doesn't get this one, what I think the next steps are, I could give you have the version.
Right.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Roby jump over that candlestick. It'll be good. I like that we're at this point now where we're just like critiquing it like heavily and like, no, it needs to be this thing. And I think if you used Adobe Firefly or whatever, okay, it clearly doesn't want to work tonight. So what we're going to do is I'll get you the image. We're going to have you kind of work on some of that because I wanted to see what this looks like.
Yeah.
But we'll leave it off to the side and maybe we should play some Drawful.
Yeah.
Because and we'll see if it shows up. If it doesn't, then it is what it is. So if you're out there with us tonight, you're going to see more of the Roby marketing campaign by the next time we get here, and then you'll be able to see it. If you want to play the game and you haven't played it yet, you can do that right on the online. So let's do this. I'm going to put the itch link to it so you can at least see it and play it. You can play it right in your browser right now, everyone, right here. And so if you go to this link we're putting into the chat, you go to this page, you hit run. It's going to open up, and then you'll also be able to play it. If you're curious on how you play it, there's a little description underneath. I put all the controls in there. You can know how to get that and get a little bit of the story behind the scenes here. Nice. But we're going to go ahead and pivot for the evening, and we're going to end this sucker on Drawful. Unless
I have one thing. I have one thing that
Ryan,
I almost forgot.
Ryan has something.
I bought you a gift while I was on vacation. And this was weeks ago at this point, so it's been in my bag. It's probably gross, like who knows?
Okay.
Right? So we were in, North Carolina, and we were at all these places, and there was a candy shop that had millions of different types of candy. And I was looking around, and I was like, kids are getting stuff, and I was like, holy crap, look at this thing. What I thought was interesting about it, and officially, it says very officially on the front, officially licensed Tetris product, like from the creators of Tetris. So I got you this.
Oh,
so they're just like gummies or whatever. But I thought what it was cool about it, like, read what's in here. The iconic Tetramino shapes, right? Bonus secret shape. What is the secret shape? There's like a new Tetris shape in these gummies. And this is official. This is not like some, knockoff thing that's just using Tetris. This is the people that own Tetris, like introducing a new Tetramino.
Oh my god, I don't know about this.
I know.
Should I open it and see what this is?
I've been wanting to open this since the moment I saw that and see what the new Tetramino
we're looking at the shape
was.
right here.
Okay,
so
what do you think it is?
It's one dot.
Yeah, it's like the long piece, but it has one little piece.
You think that's what it is?
Like a little,
All
like
right,
an L.
Let's see it is. Let's eat some of these gummies together.
Yeah,
This will be great.
not special gummies, just normal gummies.
Holy crap, they're humongous.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Look at these things.
Oh man, they are. Okay,
They're really good.
you gotta
too.
find the new shape.
I'm gonna have to dump them all. What the fish?
What is that? It's like a little bear.
It's a bear. That cannot be it.
That
It says
can't be-
Power Bears.
Power Bears.
Okay,
'cause
that's not the new shape.
No.
If that is the new shape,
No.
I'm gonna have to dump
It's
this.
a new Tetramino shape.
Yeah, it says bonus secret shape.
Secret shape.
Is it the Power Bear?
Oh man, that's lame if it's the Power Bear. I'm disappointed in this. I've been waiting a long time.
I'm pretty sure it's the Power Bear, Ryan. We got
the Power Bear.
We got the normal shapes.
Normal ones. We got the normal ones. Little L. Little piece here.
Mmm.
And a bear.
There's your special shapes, folks. Officially from
Official
Tetris. They're
from
gonna come with little
Tetris.
bears coming down. This is a really good snack. All right.
Okay. Drawful. I just didn't want to forget that and leave that in my bag for another 2 weeks.
Those are good. Hopefully they're not poisoned.
I don't think so.
All right, we're gonna play some Drawful. Get your phones out. Get your brains ready to be able to do some drawing here. So here we are, folks. Oh, that's not where we want to go. I'm gonna go Xbox. Oh, I even have to log in. Can you hand me that controller over there, please?
Just still thinking about our thing.
Yeah, I just re-put it in again.
Oh,
And I
that's
think
right.
ChatGPT has decided it wants to peace out.
GPT'd itself.
Yeah, it's taken over. This is the moment.
Nope, didn't like it. Oh, no, it didn't.
Oh my God!
Oh man.
All right, we have to look at this really quick.
He looks, yeah.
Oh,
Too old, too
holy
old.
crap! That looks like
He looks like a dirtbag.
he does. Actually, though,
These are weird. This is like, he's like a bleeding black from the legs.
I mean, it kind of did it though.
We didn't put any body type stuff in it, right? So we wanted him like thin and everything. But the black hair like almost looks like how like our guy looks. That's just a bat too. That's not a cricket bat.
Yeah, it had a hard time with cricket bats as it goes.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some Drawful.
Okay. Is this the code? Oh no, that's last time.
You sure you want to exit? No, we do not.
No, you do want to exit.
Oh, no, let's start a new one. Who's out there? Who's gonna play some Drawful with us tonight? I gotta like. I'm still typing in the URL like a peasant. All right, there we go. I'm gonna put these Tetraminos in this, unless you want to eat these with me.
No, you're good. You can give it
Thank
to
you,
kids and
thank
stuff.
you for this.
I was like, I saw Tetris things and officially licensed. Disappointed with the new Tetramino, but
Talking about official Tetris things,
Oh.
I did get a.
okay, we ready?
Yep.
This the normal crew here.
I see it's time for some drawful. A group of 5. I love it. That means you'll have 2 rounds to draw terrible drawings. Let's do this thing. All right. If you look at your devices right now, you should see a secret prompt just for you. Weird stuff, like breakdancing neighbor or deep sea fishing. Draw a picture on your device that would have
Deep
that
sea
title.
fishing would be
And when
easy.
you're done, hit send. You'll get points for each player that can correctly guess your title. So, have fun.
That was a hard one. It was the hardest one I've ever had.
Uh-oh. Only 30 seconds left to finish your drawing. Maybe you should just hit send now so you don't take too long and miss your chance.
You actually miss it, or does it submit it?
Nah, they're just trying to make it seem more intense than it is. I look like an Irish, like, crazy.
Warning! 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 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I got your drawings. Some of them are a total mess. I love it. Let's see the first piece of art.
All right.
Now, take a wild guess at what the prompt for this title could be.
Hello!
Hey, I'm serious. Time is up.
Alright.
Here are your choices. Which of these titles do you think really inspired this drawing?
Oh, Jesus.
They're all very different.
Oh, man.
Hello!
It always makes me question.
Pick
Yeah.
something.
You're like, are people doing it for to try to get me, or is it the actual thing?
Okay, who picked what?
Nice, good one. Exploding muscles.
Mike and I
just gave-
screwed
we
each
just
other.
gave each other, yeah, just jerking each other. Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Maybe.
Damn it! I thought that's the one. The eyes gave it away.
Yeah.
Great job.
All right, let's do another one. Enter your titles now.
Clearly Ryan's.
Yep.
30. 25. 20. 15.
Hurry up, people. Just type something in.
Oh.
Here are your choices.
25. 20. Oh.
And here are your picks.
Not it. Ding.
You two.
Oh,
Crime solving cats.
Ding.
that totally looks like a cat sign. I thought it was. Good job, Mike Azul. Oh my god, that was hilarious.
Let's take a look at our next drawing.
Oh shit.
Hey, I'm serious. Time is up.
Hello!
All right.
And here are your choices.
Oh my god.
Hello!
Oh.
Let's see what people picked.
Hello!
Nice.
Wrong.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Oh, that was the decoy. I haven't seen that before. Is that in case somebody didn't actually put this in?
No.
Yeah, I guess not.
Ding.
What? That's a hard one.
It was really hard to write.
Yeah.
How would you do that?
Totally, that's tough.
Speak. Ding.
All right, it's close though.
Type in a convincing title now.
I love how Drawful has become the game.
Come on. Typing time is almost up.
Hello!
Oh.
Okay, here are your choices.
Oh.
Hello!
And here are your picks.
Oh,
Ding.
good job. I thought that was it.
Oh.
Nice.
Ding.
Good one.
Ding.
Good job. Shrinking house.
That's why you don't wash your walls with hot water.
Oh, that was a bad one for me.
So that
Oh, down 100 points.
Let's our next drawing.
Ooh.
35. 15.
Quick, type it.
Hello!
And here are your choices.
Ooh.
Hello!
Chief Financial Officer is pretty good. I don't know.
Okay, who picked what?
Yeah.
Ding.
All right. All right.
Ding.
Ah, come on.
Mike is cool. What?
Oh.
Chief Financial Officer.
You
so good.
called it at the beginning, too.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, because he's a chief.
Ah,
Like an Indian
I
chief.
see,
And he has
I
money.
see.
Oh, that was so good. It's
Hey,
so
let's do
clear.
that
So
drawing.
clear now that I
Prompts should
see
be
it.
on your devices now.
Oh.
What is it that you're drawing that's so important, huh? 30 seconds left. Let's go.
Ding. Ding. Ding.
Oh,
All right, your drawings
know.
are in.
I had one of the moments where I was like, I needed the eraser.
I
this
needed an
time.
eraser.
And now, another drawing.
35. 30. 25. 20. 15.
Come on, typing time is almost up.
5.
Here are your choices.
25. 20. 15.
Pick something.
Oh.
And here are your picks.
Oh,
Good job.
Ding.
Good
Ding.
job, Heather.
totally thought that was it.
No.
Nice.
Ding.
it.
It was a party
It was
cup.
almost, you know, it's like
So
it's like-
simple.
it's like you gotta put the star everywhere.
Was it? Oh my god. Oh no.
Put in your titles now.
Hello!
Hey, I'm serious. Time is up.
This is like one of those ones where you have to decipher it.
Right.
And here are your choices.
Oh.
Hello!
And here are your picks.
Oh,
Oh.
nice. Nice. Take it.
My Gazoo.
Oh man, it is really close.
It is.
Type in a title now. Hurry up, people. Just type something in.
Hello!
And here are your choices.
This one's hard.
Hello!
And
You know,
here are
because
your
you're like,
picks.
what type of stuff do they usually pick, right? Seeds, cheese. Not that.
Oh god.
Ah, good job, Michael. That's gonna be the winning. All of the cheese.
If I saw that on a menu, I'd
Oh,
order
because
it.
it's not cut.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Mike's taking it.
Yeah. Shot to the top. Time for second. An anonymous. Ugh.
Type in a convincing title now.
Hello!
Come on, typing time is almost up.
Oh.
Okay, here are your choices.
Hello!
I guess. We'll see.
Just tap any button.
Oh.
And here are your picks.
Bugging out. Yeah.
Oh no.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, that was a bad drawing, y'all.
Ah,
Oh, how did I did? Oh my God, it is so close.
yeah.
All right, let's do another one. Quick, type in anything.
Oh.
Hello!
Here are your choices.
Hello!
Pick an answer.
Oh.
Let's see what people picked.
Suckers.
Damn it.
Ga-ding, ga-ding, ga-ding.
Come on, this is it, right? Damn it.
Sorry.
Zool. Erotic library book.
I bet the pages in that book don't turn too easily.
Gross.
Oh.
Hello!
You take it at the end.
Right at the end, it was
Punk.
that last one. The
We gotta
dorm
take
room
him-
escape. Dorm room escape. Took it.
Oh my God.
Most liked, and you always get most liked. I feel like that happened. This is the exact same thing that happened last time.
Oh my God.
Man, tied for second. That was close.
Good job, everyone.
Good
It is
job.
so fun to play Drawful with y'all. So.
Yeah, super fun.
All right.
everyone
Well, that's
listening.
it for the evening. Thanks
Yeah.
for hanging out on the Hangout. We will see you next time. Get some rest this evening. And good night. Peace
Yeah.
out.
Thanks for hanging out.